looks like a lot of the studios, Marvel, DC, they're trying to look at their plans and see what they can do moving forward, and can they get back on track as far as the interest among the general public. Can Marvel and DC do anything new to get the box office moving a little bit more? Do they have to lower prices or lower budgets? Do they have to do other that stuff? Do they have to do different kinds of movies? Well, we're going to discuss that for sure. Apparently, Ana de Armas is being eyed for a big Marvel Studios role. Fantastic Four sequel is going to move forward with Matt Shakman likely to return as a director. Josh Brolin talks about a possible return for Thanos, and I got a little props about the Sadie Sink thing. We'll talk about that with the boys too. So it is Capes and Cows here today, the Kristian Harloff Show. Let's get into it, everybody. Check this out, Winston. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the show here today. It's Kristian Harloff Show, Capes and Cowls. We got the whole crew back, everybody. I'm so excited. I'm excited that you guys are back here on this new time, 9 a.m. PST, with myself, Winston A. Marshall, Coy Jandreau. The crew is back.
Yes, sir.
I like the fact that, I mean, like I said, I reached out to everybody, want to make sure, because, initially you guys were, and I give props to all the hosts on this channel to where they have been very kind to maneuver their schedules to my schedule, because I said because we had initially were at 1 o'clock Eastern, and I said, hey, can you guys do 2 because of the new kind of health program that I'm going on, and everybody was great with it. And then now that I know the routines, it's a lot easier for me to go in the mornings, something I kind of always wanted to do, and that way we get a morning show out to the West Coast peeps, we get a lunchtime show out to the East Coast peeps. It gives Winston and Coy a little bit more time to do stuff with their day, and we got ourselves a new time. So right now, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday will be at 9 a.m. PST. Tuesday currently is at 2 p.m. We will be seeing if that's going to change. I will let you guys know.
2 p.m. PST?
No, 2 p.m. EST for Tuesday. For Tuesday.
Just checking, because you just didn't even. I was like, that is a gap.
yeah. No. Just normal. This is 2 hour difference, but we'll be going here. We have a lot to talk about today.
Are you getting up and working out before 6 now or after?
Not 6 for you. For 6 for you.
Yeah.
It's 6 for you. For me, it's closer to like 8:45.
Oh, right. The ahead. Okay. Because I had to get up at 6 to work out, but I'm gonna try to make that life.
Well, I like it so much better, honestly. It's the gym is less crowded. I go in the morning and I just throw my headphones on, even though stupid thing today for some, I don't know why, but today I go and I go to get my headphones, and I thought I left them in my car. I'm like, oh no, I leave my headphones in my car, and I open up, I go, someone stole my headphones. I'm like, but no one stole my bag. I left my bag in here. No one stole anything else though. Like, first thing you do, someone stole it. I'm like,
New York.
I'm like, someone stole it. And then I'm like, I asked the gym, did anybody turn in these headphones? They're like, no, sorry. And then I asked my daughter, did you take my headphones out of the car? And I'm like, I'm going to guarantee that when I get back to the office, they're just sitting on the table.
Somebody stole them past me at the office.
Boom, there it is.
Yep, 100%. And I was like, I just didn't remember doing it because I went into the city last night and to the podcast agency that we're with. They had like this mixer, and I went, and it was really nice. I went to Grand Central. It was like the weather in the city yesterday was like, it was beautiful. It was just like a nice walking through, and just, it was great. I had like 2 beers, hung out on the rooftop, had a conversation with some really nice peeps.
And Thursday, man.
Yeah, so I woke up this morning, went to the gym, feeling good, and then here we are with our show. So we're ready to rock. How are you guys doing, Winston? What's going on?
It's just been a lot of family stuff right now, man. So I've every waking hour is either trying to work or just trying to not think about the crap that we're dealing with. So
that's what we're here for.
I appreciate it, and I appreciate everybody that that's been over on my channel and stuff with well wishes and stuff like that. It's just heavy because we're one of said situations is not good, and now it's just a time game. So just taking it day by day.
Well, let's have some fun here today on today's show. How about that?
Let's do it.
All right. And we'll do it by saying, is the superhero genre dead? Let's do that. Because there's a plan here. What can Marvel and DC Studios, this is a comic book movie. What is the plan? What can they do, DC and Marvel, to address the new box office norm for these superhero movies? Here's the article by Josh Wilding. Superhero movies are no longer the guaranteed $1 billion hit. But what can Marvel and DC do to make superhero fatigue, or make sure that it doesn't bring an end to our favorite genre? We have a few questions. Superheroes are struggling in theaters, and not a single one of their movies will come close to the $1 billion at the worldwide box office in 2025. It's impossible to deny that superhero fatigue is here, and it's now down to Marvel Studios and DC Studios to counter it. It's early days for the DCU, while Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige has talked candidly about how he intends to address the MCU's recent struggles. Still talks cheap, and it's the action that's taken in the coming years that's going to decide the genre's fate. So in this feature, we're sharing our take on what needs to be done by both studios in order to right a ship. Okay, so it's time to make these movies for less. Guys, how long have we been saying this?
Yep.
3 years.
3-4 years? If the majority of these movies are going to end their box office runs in the 400 to 600 million range, then it's vital that they be produced for less money. Whether that's cutting costs in terms of talent or VFX, it's not sustainable for these blockbusters to be costing upwards of 200 million before marketing every time moving forward. Here, Josh. Here. There has to be a way for Marvel and DC to figure this out, and the latter does appear to have the right idea by casting lesser-known stars. David Corenswet earned $750,000 for Superman, while Nicholas Hoult scoring a $2 million payday due to be the bigger name. We'd argue that he wasn't a huge enough star to sell tickets, though, and James Gunn's $15 million paycheck is questionable, to say the least. He's got $15 million for that movie?
That's nuts.
That's pretty crazy.
Especially if you're already co-CEO. Write it into your damn salary that you already getting, bro.
We get extra points on the movie. That's interesting. We'll pretend that Coy's not on the show for this part. No studio is looking to simply break even on a pricey movie, so something's got to give. 4, events sell. Everything else, and not so much. If the past few years have taught us anything, it's that audiences now expect superhero movies to be events. Deadpool and Wolverine was one because it brought together two of Marvel's most iconic characters, whereas the Marvels, Captain America, Brave New World, Thunderbolts, were streaming follow-ups, and regardless of that, never felt like game-changing, impactful stories. Fantastic Four: First Steps hasn't broken box office records, but it's soared higher than those movies because the reintroduction of this team felt like a much bigger deal than other recent releases. Once upon a time, Marvel Studios took risks on the likes of Ant-Man and Guardians of the Galaxy. However, those movies were surrounded by safe bets like Captain America: Winter Soldier and Avengers: Age of Ultron. Relying on those marquee names is a must moving forward. We wish DC's all the best with Supergirl, Clayface. So, 3, no more streaming. Well, this is going to be interesting because I don't know if I agree with cold turkey, but let's see. The COVID-19 pandemic had a long-lasting, hugely negative impact on the theatrical landscape. Don't believe us? Avengers Endgame made shy of $630 million in China in 2019, whereas Superman and Fantastic Four haven't even reached 20 million combined. Right, that's pretty crazy. Then there's streaming, whether it's the shortened theatrical window or Marvel Studios being forced into producing a seamlessly ending waves of TV shows. Streaming platforms like Disney Plus have conditioned moviegoers to just wait to watch movies at home, while those series defaulted the MCU to a point where it's devalued. The MCU to a point that there simply no longer feels special. WandaVision, Falcon, and the Winter Soldier felt like must-see TV in 2021, but as time passed, these shows have lost their luster and now come and go with little fanfare or impact. Marvel Studios is reducing its streaming output moving forward, where DC Studios runs the risk of repeating past mistakes with the likes of Peacemaker Season 2 and Lanterns. To undo the damage, the wait to watch these movies at home needs to be significantly longer, and streaming shows, well, one a year might be too many. Better marketing, fewer leaks. Well, how are you going to beat the fewer leaks? That's impossible. The better marketing, let's see what their fix is here. The leaks is impossible to hold. The importance of test screenings is debatable, but in recent years, they've led to a surge in spoilers leaking online. We're not just talking about a couple of minor surprises either. It's become commonplace for full plot leaks to do rounds more ahead of a new movie release. If fans have read every plot beat that soon, then they're less inclined to go back for repeat viewings. Piracy is also an issue with full clips and cameras all over social media, sometimes days before movies are released in the US. Early fan screenings are another problem because rather than creating buzz, they give people a chance to learn what to expect in weeks in advance. Honestly, marketing campaigns in general need an overhaul because how is hanging Superman above the Shard in London or plastering James Gunn's face all over Love Island UK helping to sell tickets? The same could be said for the cringeworthy influencer interviews. Let's see an actor like Pedro Pascal asked less about his process and more about the internet calling him daddy. Here, Josh Wilding. Recent trailers have been lacking, with the Marvels a good example of that. I really am impressed with Josh Wilding's article here. 94% of it I agree with. Less is more. A site called comicbookmovie.com probably shouldn't be calling for fewer superhero movies and TV shows every year, but it would benefit this genre greatly in the long run. The day of Marvel and DC releasing 3 movies a year need to end, and neither studio should be balancing 2 or 3 streaming series on top of that is a good idea. Deadpool and Wolverine had a lot going for it. The fact it was the only 2024's only MCU's title that made it more highly anticipated and gave it that feeling of a special one-off event. Why get excited for Captain America Brave New World when there's Daredevil, Born Again, Thunderbolts, Ironheart, Fantastic Four First Steps, Eyes of Wakanda to also look forward to in the following 6 months? It's too much. Fortunately, Marvel Studios, DC both look to be taking a less is more approach in the coming years. Yep. That's it. Okay. First of all, excellent article by Josh Wilder. Excellent. I agree with a lot of it. The streaming part of it, we can, I think the majority of it I agree with. The only thing is, I think that, and I've been saying this could be about Star Wars, this could be about Marvel. I think that what Netflix does well is they use their big budgets, and they don't just, of course they make shows, but they also make movies. So if you're going to spend $200 million on a streaming show, why don't you spend 120 and make a movie? And make that movie and get the kind of Happy Gilmore numbers or K-pop numbers if you do like a big movie that is set just for Disney Plus or whatever it might be, or for Max, do a straight movie. But the series trying to catch everybody up, because a movie tying into the overall lore, okay, you got to watch that movie. I watch it at home. It debuts today. Okay, great. Maybe that gets me interested down the line. So I don't think streaming cold turkey is the answer, but I certainly think like trying to have like watching all of these episodes and being locked into it, it's a lot. And they even said as much. So that's the first part of streaming. Coy, I know that you're just not a streaming guy in general. You think that it kind of took out the whole experience. So first of all, what do you think of the article that was said? And what do you think about the streaming and just
if we're starting with streaming, I think streaming is the thing that gets us to the Wall-E world very quickly. I think we're rapidly approaching just being amorphous blobs floating in couches in our little pods. And I think that happens because of apathy. Like I can respect, as someone without kids, that I can't fathom trying to pay 5 movie tickets and all those things. But if there's the option to wait 30 days and watch it at home, why would someone opt to do the stress of 5 tickets and all the popcorn and soda? Like that is how we're going to lose movie theaters. So I think streaming is detrimental overall. I think that what you just said is the opposite though, right? If there's things that are unique to streaming versus rushing theatrical to streaming, right? Like I think Werewolf by Night as a special presentation on Disney Plus is a great opportunity for Disney Plus to have something that is unique to itself and worth that $7, $8, $9 a month at home. But if you're trying to release a $200 million movie that is going to be on streaming in 30 days, why would a family of 5 attend if they've already paid $7 for all 5 of them to watch at home and not have to get in the car? So I think streaming is I think theatrical windows are more of the thing that we need to look at than one or the other. Like, I don't think it's as binary. I also think there's an element of the comfort of home. Like, people have these big TVs and surround sounds and all that stuff. Movie theaters need to be special again. We need to make it so people aren't talking in the theater. We need to make it so people aren't on their phones, which will help with the privacy element. We need to make it so if there's this giant employment problem, they aren't employing people to rip tickets anymore because tickets are digital. They aren't employing as many people to sell tickets because people buy them online. If we want jobs at the movie theater, have those people walk through the movie theaters and stop people from talking. Like, we need to have ushers that are actually in the theater going like, hey, shut up. Like,
they
that
do
is a way to pay someone and also solve a problem.
And they do it at the press screenings. If you have your phone or anything too, like, there's people that go up and down the
100%.
Yeah,
and that's a job. We need to create jobs. Now, I know that's also a cost for the theater, so that needs to be something that comes out of that percentage that the movie theater gets for these movies. That comes out of the concession. Like, we need to recalibrate what the dollar cost averaging is. I think the problem with the movie theater system is what they keep doing is adding commercials, adding costs, adding, and that's not what's going to push people into the theater. It's what's pushing people out of the theater. So I think we need a new system, like when AMC A-List started. That gave us, oh my God, 3 movies, now 4 for a certain price point. We need to figure out what the equivalent of that is in these other systems. And I know that's work and effort and time, but I think that's what needs to change first.
The etiquette point is very, very well taken, because I mentioned I went to that event last night, and I was talking to another podcaster. They run a very successful kind of true crime thing, but they like movies, and the woman I was speaking to goes, yeah, we don't go to the movies as much anymore because we got a really good system at home. The movies come out fast, and the people in the theaters don't really behave, and we're older now. We don't really want to deal with that. And it is absolutely one of the Matt Serra. I keep saying this. It was like I took him to the Garden of Eden when I took him to a press screening, because he was like, he couldn't believe it. He couldn't believe it. He's like, people aren't talking on their phones. I mean, they're not showing their phones. They're not talking. They're not being loud. They're not putting their feet. Like, people are behaved. What is this magical place?
Yeah,
and that's the norm now. It's crazy.
I miss them dearly. I miss them so much. Since I only go to a couple nowadays. But to that point, I mean, Coy picked or maybe I guess you assigned it to him, the best of all the arguments. The streaming thing destroyed movie theaters. The idea that legitimately the Jurassic World is already on streaming. Right. That's insane.
Wait, real quick with that one, and I want you to make your point, but real quick, the thing with Jurassic World's a hard one to make. It's the only one that's going to cross like almost $800 million.
No, I understand that, and they literally, but the rate that it was going, they shot themselves in the foot, because that movie probably could have cleared $1 billion the way it was rolling. So, like, it still is a problem in that you have literally trained people to say, I don't need to go to the movie theater. That is the problem. The idea that you would ever make a window smaller than what used to be DVDs and stuff like that, of waiting months. So it's like, look, you either have made this event, or you're just going to have to legitimately watch it on the replay way later. By getting rid of that, you're not going to get people to go back. And I understand the pandemic was a unique time, but the same way that you go out of whatever said protocols when there's an emergency, where there's a fire, where there's any sort of thing, it's the same thing. They should have had a protocol to get back out of this. But I honestly think greed got in the way of them going, nah, man, like, and then we're gonna put all this stuff on there, and we're gonna take all the cables, money, we're gonna eat their lunch. And then here we are. I think the second most important one does go back to the budgets. We've preached this time and time again. Look, James Gunn seems like an absolutely fantastic person. I don't blame him for taking his back end points. At the same time, I'm like, bro, you're going to get back end points on every single DCU movie coming out. So, like,
there's a really
I
weird,
don't know,
there's a really
15
weird
mil?
There's a really weird comment in there that says that these movies make money outside of box office. Yeah, of course they do. I don't get the obsession with box office because people aren't going to the movies as much. And the whole article was about potentially why they're not making $1 billion. And one said that they were making huge losses. These things are just not back into that whole thing. How these movies made money. They didn't make the kind of anyway, so yes, they did. The thing is, they still, when you spend $200 million on a movie, you want it to make more than just a little bit more. Or even if the merchandise or those things, you want it to be able to hit that. You're trying to aim to that place that was the sweet spot. And you also get to a place where DC is happy, because DC, they have enough in the chamber to say, let's keep going forward. We have the strategy now, and now we can look at the numbers. And if we put the money, and it made sense to put the money into Superman, because that's it. It's the launching pad. And now you got to try to look at look at these other movies that aren't performing as well as they used to, and why is that? And you put together an entire plan of why that is, and that's what DC is going to be doing. Why Comic Book Movie also said it's like you Thunderbolts, it did not make money even outside with, and I just watched it again. It's a great movie. Fantastic Four was a disappointment in regards to what they were looking at to accomplish and lead to, and now they're scattered. It has nothing, as far as, it's not an obsession. It's a matter of looking, when you look at the numbers, you have to say it is telling you about the business as a whole. So don't be silly fuck.
The easiest example that most people tend to agree with is that the Fast movies are certainly fun, but they're not good movie. They're just like, man, that's crazy.
Right.
And so people keep asking, how do these movies keep getting made? Because they keep pushing $1 billion pretty much every time they go out. The same thing with the Jurassic World films. We all universally agreed that the one before Rebirth was doo-doo water.
Right.
And yet somehow we got another little baby reboot here with Scarlett Johansson because it makes money. So the question of why does box office matter? Because literally it's a business, and they go, that made money, shit, do it again. That made do it again. That's why it matters.
It's where we're at. Yeah, Coy, I've gotten that though too. Why is he so focused on the box office? That's all the show is about now, is box office. It's like, yes, because we're in a place right now. We're not in 2015. We're like, oh, we're so excited about all the stuff that's coming out, and this could be this. And we talk about those things. We'll talk about it with Spider-Man and other things too. But the problem is where we are. We're not in that sweet spot in 2015. It didn't matter. Because like, oh, okay, the numbers they did real good. We're seeing more of these. Great. You don't focus in on it because it's not telling you anything. What it was telling you back in 2015 is everybody was going to see them. So they're making more and more and more. So, okay, that part of it, we don't need to talk about that. Let's talk about, hey, who do you think the villain's going to be and why is that? No. It was more fun. It was more interesting to talk about those things because you were going to see it and it all made sense as opposed to getting excited. We don't even know if Thunderbolts was potentially going to have a sequel. And we have a story. Shackman might return now for Fantastic Four. It would have been a guarantee if the box office would have been huge. It would have been like, he comes back for the sequel. They locked him up already for it. That's why. And so, why is it so obsessed with the box office? That's all we talk about. Kristian Harloff box office show. Stick it up your assholes.
I forgot early morning Kristian is New Yorker Kristian.
I'm just tired of it.
You mellow out midday.
Yeah, he's on East Coast energy.
It's a show. It's a show about, the numbers, about the business in general, and you lock down as far as production. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of I remember the day you used to just talk about what was happening in speculation and all that stuff. And guess what happened? You'd fucking bitch about the speculation part. Why are you speculating? Just go along with it. Stick it up your asshole. Go ahead, Coy.
I was gonna say, and I agree, because I get the same comments when I cover this stuff, is without us discussing it, there's no room to navigate how to fix it. There's no room to navigate the solutions, and then it will go the way of the Western. Like, if we don't get ahead of it and we just go, everything's fine, I think the big problem is until something's gone, people don't notice the problems. Like, until the thing is missing and you're like, I missed that era. Like, all of the current nostalgia wave for the 90s, there were lots of problems in the 90s, but we've got this thing of like, why did that go away? Because we didn't look at how to fix the things we wanted to keep. Right. So if we do a show called Capes and Cowls, we probably want to keep comic book stuff going. So we're looking at the solution. So it isn't a pest.
The only thing that made me laugh even more about it is not seeing this here, like seeing people in the audience in the chat talking about why are you talking about box office. It's seeing like industry professionals tweeting out, why is everybody so obsessed about the box office? Now I'm like, are you dumb? What are we doing? Like, literally,
it's the shape of the business, as where, again, Josh Wilding brings up in that article, rightfully so, which is another part we should go into, is that we've been saying it. The budgets are too high in these movies, because what it allows to do as far as the creative side of all of this too is what's great in the mention of getting a David Corenswet for $750,000. You're creating a star now, and it allows us to not just keep rehashing the same person and go, oh, you know what? Let's just put so-and-so in. Let's spend $15 million in. They'll get it in there, and you don't build anybody, and you're just spending that big $15 million. Now, eventually, David Corenswet will not be $750,000 because that's how the business goes. As I said with Nicholas Hoult, he's $2 million because of his past experience. I think, and here we'll do this, James Gunn should not have $15 million for a salary. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. but you give him points or whatever else may be, whatever his deal is. But if I get a directing thing too. No,
there's got to be a space where I again, I love James Gunn. I'm always going to.
You want to go away still?
I'm listening.
Okay.
I love James Gunn. As South Park put it, you sometimes you got to get your nut. Like, I get it, but like, just at the same time, if you know that because you're the head honcho, you're already going to get money from every different angle. That's just, in my opinion, a smart business decision to be like, you know what, I'm gonna take a baby bit less on this. Both so it kind of boosts our box office numbers, and then what that compares to for our budget. You know, just in general, you're gonna get your money, my guy. So like that's the only thing that I would say.
Shifting. But as far as budgets in general going down, and with Marvel and spending the $200 million, you got to bring it down, because I think it's what. Let's shift away from comic book movies for a second. I've talked about this with, let's go Jurassic World or Terminator. How exciting would it be to see the movie The Creator? Like,
Gareth,
the one that with that just came out, and it was like
John David Washington.
Yeah, John David Washington, and it was
yes.
That movie looked like $200 million. It was made for 90. Taking a movie like a Terminator or a Jurassic World and going back to basics and making it look like a $60 million like A24 film or something, and go with that premise. And Prey, right?
Did.
But Prey was a streaming movie.
But that's kind of what you were talking about with like, but now he's doing Badlands, which is theatrical, and it's going to be like, they're doing it sometimes. Alien Earth looks so good,
right?
Because it looks like sets.
Romulus. Look at Romulus. Right, like that's like that kind of stuff, and it's like, I get it. Like they've got it. That is why we talk about that, because it brings it. Because like for me, I would much rather. Oh, another movie. So here's a perfect example of where we are with comic book movies in general. So my buddy Brett Ernst, who is the guy who he was essentially my stand-up comedy big brother. He was Uncle Louie in Cobra Kai. So he was the whole reason that I got a chance to showcase at the Comedy Store and become a regular, which repping it today. Look at that. Over there it is.
Huh.
So he was the one. He said, he called me and said, "Look, I got regulars have a recommendation. You want to showcase for Mitzi? I'll put your name, and you got to show up." And I was like, "Of course, I'm going to show up." And I did. And it was because without Brett Ernst, I wouldn't have gotten into the Comedy Store. I say it all the time. I took me, him, and Sebastian went on the road and did shows together and casinos and stuff. And he was great. He was always really he was always there for me in stand-up comedy and other things. So he randomly called me last night. I haven't spoken to him in a little bit, but he called me last night and he goes, "Hey, out of these 3 movies, what should I see? Should I see Superman? Should I see Fantastic Four? Or should I see Weapons?" I told him to go see Weapons. Out of the 3 of those movies, that is the best quality movie in my opinion. The most engaged I was out of the 3 films, and it was probably significantly less to make. Significantly. And it was I was the most engaged out of the 3. And I liked all 3 movies, but that was the one I said, I got to tell you, you really want to be like locked into a film? It's that one. That's the movie to me that it doesn't seem like the same thing. And imagine if they made it. And I think they're going to try to do that with Clayface. Like, that's what I love. They're going to that. I want to see a $30 million Clayface horror movie. Sure. Why not? That's smart. So I hope that they kind of do that. Those are the 3 movies in general, but I don't know. Coy, I said a lot. What do you say?
So I also think there's something to this article that we're not zooming back out enough. Like, we're very focused on like the comic booky stuff, but I think movies are in a bad spot. Not this one, but like, I think if you look at the box office of this year, 4 of the top 10 domestic are superhero films. 4 of the top 11 worldwide are superhero films. So if we're saying superhero films are struggling, I think we also need to be looking at the theatrical world struggling. Like, one movie has made $1 billion this year. I don't think it's fair to keep thinking $1 billion is normal or average. It's not post-pandemic.
2. What was that, Winston? 2.
Oh yeah. Well,
if you just mean like American movies.
I'm sorry. I was speaking of domestically. We've had 1, 2 worldwide. But either way, those are not a bounty. Those are not a many.
Sure.
It is not a 2015 where we've got billions being like, is the next one? Minecraft got close. It was 50,000 shy, so it's flowers. But I don't think we should look at the numbers as compared to superhero movies to each other. We need to look at movies like by the year, like 2025 movies compared to 2025 movies, or maybe 2024. But we need to stop doing this like, hey, back in 2017, 2018, 2019, the box office is different now. So the box office money needs to adjust in pre-production and production. Our expectations need to adjust. I had the same problem. I thought July was going to be a $3 billion month. I said it very publicly. I thought all three, Fantastic Four, Jurassic, and Superman, would clear $1 billion. I was thinking the same way. I think we need to readjust expectations until the theater industry comes back, or we need to not see everything as a failure because we need to adjust the budget so everything isn't a failure if it doesn't clear $500 million.
Yeah, I think the other thing we're not taking into consideration is the fact of like just the state of the world's economy. I think backing out a little bit and realizing that everybody is holding on to their dollars a little bit more. And on top of that, everything is going up in price. I think the other thing that we're not taking into consideration is that movies as well have continuously gotten more expensive
because the dollar's worth nothing and no one has any dollars.
So that's why your friend calls.
See a movie, you should eat.
That's literally why your friend calls, because y'all still have that fare to even get into the city. On top of that, I don't know if he's in New York or whatever.
No, I don't know. I don't know where he is. I think he's in LA, but I think that but nonetheless, yeah, he wants to find out out of those three. He doesn't.
It's like I literally can spend $25 extra right now one time. What do I do?
Three of those. Yeah, I'm going to spend my money on something what's worth it, and that I don't feel like, why did I spend my money on that movie for sure? And it is a matter of, I don't know. I think that where comic book movies are, we should see. I think the other thing that really what's special about these movies now, right? Like what's really special about them? Like what I said to him when I was telling him, I said, look, here's the things that I feel. I said Superman does feel like it feels like a Saturday morning cartoon. It feels like it's ripped out of those kind of old school comics, and like it's the first Superman that really feels like that. Like there's aliens everywhere, there's things that he's fighting, there's monsters and things that he's fighting. It's, if you are down for that and it's a fun movie, then you should see it. And that's how I think Superman is different. Is it radically different? Like, oh my God, that you've got to see this. I don't feel that way. And the same thing about Fantastic Four. I love Fantastic Four, and I loved how it looked. The thing I felt that was different was visually. I thought there was some stuff that made it seem like it wasn't even in the comic book realm. It felt like it was in like, a science fiction movie more so, and I love that. But that doesn't necessarily mean that's a selling point. And that's why I recommended Weapons. Weapons is different. The characters where I was locked into, and that's the kind of stuff I think that Marvel and DC needs. You got to get more.
I mean, especially because, like, even though we've talked about box office stuff a little bit, but if you look at the movies that got the most buzz or hype, it feels like this year, F1, really, people were very shocked by that and what that did. Sinners and the run that it went on. Everybody talking about Weapons. It's part genre, but it's also, those stories are either F1. Another idea of kind of looking at the retro side of things and giving you another 80s movie type scenario.
Right.
Sinners, that's something completely new. And then I can't speak to Weapons. But
Sinners and Weapons, Coy, to me, do the same thing. They really focus in on the story, the characters inside of the genre itself. It doesn't push the genre. I think that both Fantastic Four and Superman push the comic book genre first. And then, look at the characters that we have inside of this. This is the big thing. Look at and when you're doing a big summer blockbuster movie, it's spectacle. And people want to lock in the characters. They really want to be involved in the story. And it's the same thing I would say about The Mandalorian, right? The Mandalorian was something that by season 3, it was like, this monster of the week, and it's 30-minute episodes, and you don't get a chance to learn any of the characters. You don't care. It's just fluff. And that's why I don't know, Coy, you were going to say before. We were going to say.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think what they're adjusting to is more in this vein. I think, obviously, we're not talking about the Spider-Mans and the Avengers of it all, but I think doing a Punisher special presentation, a Werewolf special presentation, these are focusing on the characters in the genre. And those are, I think, I'm agreeing with you. I think that's what we need to focus on, because I think Vanessa Kirby of the Fantastic Four was the character that I felt got a character study. I felt I really, really understood who Superman was by the end of that film in a way that I hadn't felt theatrically before. And so there are elements of that, but if it's in a $200 million thing, you're trying to appeal to two much to get that true anchor in. But that's what you need to do with those kind of movies. That's a different type of movie than a Weapons, than a Sinners. The beautiful thing about Sinners is it felt like a blockbuster, but it was also a character study. I think that has Clayface written all over it. I think that has the Batman 2 written all over it. I think if you are making a new studio or rebooting your studio post Secret Wars, you need to look at varying your budgets, varying your tones, because we've gotten the audience used to the language of comic book movies now. Both Fantastic Four and Superman were able to start like they were in a graphic novel already in way. What we need to do now is, hey, we've proven we can do this. We need more Logans. We need more The Crows. We need more things that are movies that are in comic books, as well as big things like FF and Superman.
Logan was interesting. It was different, right? You know, someone brought it up in the comments section. It's a great example. Godzilla 1. I didn't care about that movie at all. Like another Godzilla movie, okay, Godzilla, sure, it's gonna be the same thing, because I was so used to the same fluff that you get with Godzilla versus Kong, those types of things, and they're fun to watch, and you shove popcorn in your face and you forget about it. There's like a real story with characters, and you're locked into it going, whoa, this movie's fantastic, but you care so much. It was the first time I'm usually, I don't show the humans, show me more of the humans. I'm actually invested. It makes sense.
And they made it for $1.85.
Right.
Like, it's crazy.
Right.
$1.85.
They had a little bit of different, they had different rules and stuff for internationally, but yes, it's still what they were able to do with that budget in general. Like, that's the kind of stuff Marvel needs to do.
I would argue what's tricky is Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four, Superman are three of the best examples of what we're describing, and still it wasn't the hits they needed to be. I think personally the character studies in those three films were exceptional, but I think that the audiences will wait for streaming for a big movie now because they're like, it'll be out soon. I think Sinners was legs because everyone was like, oh, it's something new and different. I have to see it right away. I think Weapons is a similar conversation of like, I don't want to get ruined for me. I don't think anyone was worried about what the end of Fantastic Four was going to be.
Right. Yeah. All good points. Look, there's so much. We could probably talk about this for 2 hours total. So what say you guys? Put your thoughts in there. Where is the state of comic book movies right now? What do they need to do? Is it different topics? Is it making it, the genre different? Is it getting new directors who can give you a different vision? Is it budgets? What is it? Or is it fine as it is? So one guy thinks that they're making profit hand over fist still, because it's not just about the box office. Apparently they got signs on the corners and people are just throwing money in the bank, and they made a lot of money besides just the box office. What do you guys think? Put your thoughts in there. Let us know. All right, before we get to some other topics, and we got more, I'm going to talk about Trade Coffee. Coy, they do cold brew now.
Yes.
That's right. And Factor. Check this out. Boy. Let's start to rave. About Trade Coffee. You know how much I love Trade Coffee. So, cold brew. You drink it year round. And the problem is you rely on grocery store concentrate on $6 cafe runs, mostly out of what, to me, I always thought it was convenience. But when Trade came, come on. Cold brew at home, it's easy. And it tastes way better, and it costs less than buying out. Doesn't matter if it's summer travel, weddings, weekends. My routine, I've talked about it. It's all over the place. But my cold brew ritual, that is the only thing that I won't skip. Thanks to Trade. They have the cold brew beans. They're smooth. They're easy to prep, whether you're brewing ahead for the week, filling my tumbler to take on the road. I can skip deliveries when I'm away. Trade is the #1 coffee destination for the U.S., both hot and cold coffee drinkers. They've sourced the best beans from the top roasters around the U.S., and now they have a special cold brew collection. I mean, come on. Plus, they've teamed up with 15 roasters to create a special cold brew bean collection that ensures your cold brew at home tastes exactly how it should. It's smooth and it's delicious. Love it. When they said they were doing this, it's like, oh, please and thank you. I already love you guys. Now I love you even more. So they sent this bag that I've been doing, and my buddy was in town. I said, hey, I got cold brew. Check it out. Brett, you know Brett. Brett loves it. Limited time. Trade is going to give you 50% off a month of cold brew. 50% off. That's around 60 cups of cold brew for 50% off. But you have to go to drinktrade.com/Christian. That is drinktrade.com/Christian. You get 50% off 1 month of cold brew. drinktrade.com/Christian. You know, the other day someone asked me, how do you still eat well if you're really busy and you don't have the time? Yeah, I'm telling you, you got a busy schedule. You got all the summer plans going on. What do you have at best? A couple minutes? Factor really has helped me eat smarter. It's got the tasty chef prep meals. They're dietitian approved, delivered right to my door. And now the best part is they have more than like 65 weekly meals. It's made for how I live right now, what I like to eat. I've gotten more ways to get fit with a real meal wherever the day takes me, and they really zone it to what your preferences are. There's more variety, there's more meals. You can choose for a wider selection of weekly meal options, including premium seafood choices, salmon, shrimp. Salmon's delicious at no extra cost. Shrimp's great too, by the way. I just love the salmon. You can savor global flavors. So for the first time, you can try the Asian-inspired meals with bold flavors influenced by China, Thailand, and more. From more choices to better nutrition, that's why 97% of customers say that Factor helped them live a healthier life. You can feel the difference no matter your routine. I've been doing it. You should do it too. I'm telling you, I love Factor. I've talked about it the other day. Someone asked me about it. I was raving about it. We didn't even have a spot on the show. And I was talking about how much I love Factor. So you can eat smart at factormeals.com/Christian50 off, but use that code Christian50 off. Get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. That is the code Christian50 off at factormeals.com for 50% off plus free shipping. Get delicious, ready to eat meals delivered with Factor. Thank you to Factor. Thank you to Trade. And by the way, last night as I told you guys, I went to the podcast agencies thing, and they were so complimentary of you guys, of this audience. They said you can tell that you have a really tight community, because I think someone wrote it as far as when I only talk about the stuff that I really like. I had Trade this morning, I had Factor yesterday, and I love these things, and I hope that you guys have tried it. I hope a lot of you tried. I know a lot of you have tried both of them because they come back. So let me know if there's stuff that like, hey man, I don't know if that's my thing, but are there other things that you really like that I want to try? Please let me know. I think both Factor and Trade is the bomb, so I hope you guys check it out. Okay, so get over there. So let's get to this one. This is an interesting one. Let's see about Sadie Sink's role in Spider-Man Brand New Day. It's finally been revealed. What hack is saying what here? So much has been said about Sadie Sink's Stranger Things rumored role in Spider-Man's Brand New Day, and one scooper, who's this hack, claims to have learned who she will play. You can find out more details after the jump. Sadie Sink's mystery Spider-Man Brand New Day role continues to be a hotly debated topic online. There were no closer to knowing for sure who she is when she makes her debut. Jean Grey, Mayday Parker, and Black Cat are a few of the names, but Kristian Harloff is reporting that he's heard a pretty good guarantee will play Gwen Stacy in Spider-Man Brand New Day. Certainly a good fit for Gwen, and with Peter Parker likely heading to college, it makes sense to add a character in the mix who defined those years for him in the comic book. If Sink is playing Gwen, we could see her become Spidey's new interest, or perhaps suit up as a superhero self. In related news, Daniel Rickman is reporting that there are more villains in Spider-Man Brand New Day than those previously reported. Greatest love of young Peter's life made her debut in 2007 Spider-Man 3, where she was played by Bryce Dallas Howard. Emma Stone took over in The Amazing Spider-Man Returned in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. In the sequel, Gwen was killed by Harry Osborn after he became the Green Goblin. The plan was for her to rise from the dead in Amazing Spider-Man 3, one of many weird creative decisions. The threequel looked set to meet ahead of Sinister Six. Another involved Norman Osborn's decapitated head and his own miraculous resurrection. Yada, yada, yada. Okay. So this came about randomly for me. I was... if I walked into this one particular room and I would have told you that Sadie Sink was playing either Jean Grey or somebody, I forget what the other character was that they'd rumored, and I was like, oh, okay, that's probably who she's playing. And I was having a conversation with somebody who is legit, say that. And as I was telling this person, I don't know how Sadie Sink came up. He's like, nah, she's Gwen Stacy. I was like, wait, what? Definitely? Yeah. Really? You're sure? Pretty sure. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm going to talk about that tomorrow. And look, if it turns out that she's not, then the person was wrong. And then I said it, but I wouldn't have said it if I didn't. In the way that this particular person said it, it was so matter of fact. Like, yeah, I was like, oh, it's Gwen Stacy. Yeah. I'm like, really? You pretty sure? Pretty sure. And I'm like, oh. And so that to me is interesting. So if it is, I mean, and Coy, I don't know, are you guys hearing anything else? Have you heard anything that maybe debunks that or confirms that? Have you heard anything, Coy?
I haven't heard anything story-wise. I think these two rumors are strong for what I think the movie's going to be, right? Like, I think Jean Grey and Gwen Stacy are the two most narrative-based contenders, because if you've got Brand New Day being kind of a soft reboot of like Spider-Man being on his own and letting it be his own story and not being tied to the MCU, you're going to need, more of the OG characters like your Gwen Stacy or Harry Osborn and those elements coming in and that lore. So I could easily see that making sense for the narrative. And then on the other side, I think post Secret Wars, Marvel needs to aggressively focus on the X-Men. We've talked about how much that's a guarantee. We've talked about how important that is. And I think it'd be much smarter for the MCU to have some characters already in play than try to introduce them all in their own movie. Like, we got Captain America, Thor, all those things before Avengers. Likewise, it'd be great to see Jean Grey, Cyclops, Storm, and characters before X-Men. So I could see it be kind of a fun inversion, whereas usually Spider-Man is tethered to an MCU character. What if Hulk is only in a couple scenes, and instead we get to launch an MCU character in a known hit like Spider-Man? So narratively, Gwen Stacy works for the Brand New Day element for Spider-Man in college. Narratively, Jean Grey works for the future of the MCU. Interested to see either one. Sadie Sink is so talented. I'd love to see her for something for 10 years.
Yeah, it's funny. I think that I brought up, because I think you guys had mentioned Firestar like 1,000 times.
Oh, that came up like a few months ago, and I was like, what?
And someone brought that up, and I even said it, because that's one I thought was getting pushed more and more and more. And I think I said to this person, I said, not Firestar, and they went like this.
Also, like, it's not the 70s. I don't know what audience would be like, yeah, Sadie Sink Firestar right now.
I mean, I think that's probably just more pushing from the element. I mean, Sadie being a natural redhead, and that's not that you can't change her hair color. Firestar just being also a redhead. I think that's where people were going. She's involved with Spider-Man. She's got red hair. Well, we already kind of have a Mary Jane technically, so Firestar, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, look, and like I said, I'll be the first to say, like, if it turns out that she is Firestar or Jean Grey, I'm gonna look in the camera and go, a person was wrong. I don't go out looking for scoops. I'm sitting around going, okay, was it credible enough for me to talk about it on the show, or is it just someone I think it was? I'm like, when this person said it, my ears went, what? Because this person is legit.
What I love is that we've got Gwen Stacy in contention now. We've got Jean Grey in contention now. We've got Firestar. We heard rumors of Mayday Parker. We heard rumors of another Mary Jane becoming Jackpot. We've heard all sorts of... I love that Sony's tact for marketing is like, let's leak lots of fake stuff and show them a ton. I think the age of being able to film all on a sound lot is going away. And I think that's probably good, because we feel the artifice. We feel the volume. We feel the lack of actual practical sets. And I think if you're going to film outside, instead of going like, no cameras, go, hey, we're starting our marketing a year early. Spider-Man's going to shake some hands. Tom Holland's going to be as Spider-Man. You're going to feel like Spider-Man's real. So how do you compensate for that so we don't know too much? You go the other way and go, here's a bunch of fake leaks like in The Departed, and we'll see what gets out.
Well, what do you think, Winston, as far as the other rumor of the amount of villains again? Because it's been a problem in the past with Spider-Man movies. Way too many villains. Why do they keep falling into this trap?
It's hard to say. If this ends up similar to what the Fantastic Four did at the start of the movie, I would actually be okay with that. But that's gotta be it. And I also don't want to potentially... Spider-Man's villains are kind of on par with Batman's as far as being iconic and interesting to watch and things like that. And unfortunately, we've already burned through a lot through bad movies. So I am hoping if they're doing this, they're not going to try and overstuff it, because it also doesn't make sense to jump into a Sinister Six, because we haven't really gotten into it. We sort of just did a Sinister Six, by the way, obviously, but like we don't have the clout. So I agree with you. I hope that they are very aware of what they're doing, and they're not potentially preemptively shooting themselves in the foot from just putting too much in there. But I think Coy's right. At a certain point, if we can't get away from the scoopers, if we can't get away from the leaks, then throw everything, overwhelm them. So that it's not a, hey, we got the thing out that we're really excited about. It's people have no idea what's going on.
And that ties into our first story, right? Like, if you can't defeat the leaks, because, like, when you read that, you laughed. You're like, I don't know if that's a possibility. leak stuff. Like, I loved that Hulk was in the Infinity War trailer and wasn't in the movie, because that meant I got to be surprised by what the movie actually was. Mislead your audience and then let them be surprised in the theater. They're paying $20 to be surprised and have an experience. Give them that the other way if you have to.
I agree. So I asked the audience this, man, are you guys excited for the potential of Sadie Sink playing Gwen Stacy? Do you think it'll happen? Or is my person wrong? She's going to play somebody else. Put your thoughts in there. Let us know as far as the villains and everything else too. We want to know. Are we going to do one more story? Because the guys, first of all, you guys didn't even tell you what the goal is this week. This week is 123. And it is Kalinowski and Roxy yet again, who narrowly defeated John Roca on Monday. So you guys are in contention already with 36. Pretty damn good so far. So we're going to do... So we're going to do this story. It'll be a DC story, and then we're going to move into the questions. So let's start with, I guess, half DC, half Marvel, but it's Josh Brolin, and he was talking to Josh Horowitz. I don't know if it's the same thing, but Josh Brolin talks possible Thanos return in Avengers Doomsday and why he doesn't regret saying no to Lanterns. Josh Brolin confirms he would be open to reprising the role of Thanos in Doomsday and confirms he doesn't regret turning down playing the DCU's Hal Jordan. Josh Brolin first played Thanos in 2014 Guardians of the Galaxy and later took center stage in Avengers Infinity War. The Mad Titan was the latter movie's lead in many ways, and while he was beheaded in the opening moments of Avengers Endgame, the villain later returned as a variant. Being snapped out of existence by Iron Man was their Thanos story ended, though What If showed us that he still has plenty of variants scattered throughout the multiverse. We'll meet King Thanos as part of an upcoming Disneyland ride. But what about Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars? Talking to Josh Horowitz, Josh Brolin reflected on playing Thanos and referred that he'd happily reprise the role if the Russo brothers come calling. There's a level of absurdity that I enjoy so much. I've said it a million times, but it goes back to black box theater. When you have no money, you're pretending that this thing is a gun. If you have enough conviction, people actually start to think it's a gun. That was a level of that in the Avengers. They were afraid it was going to get out, so they would give us a phony scene and then give us a real scene. And when we get in there, which to me is hell, I can't prep. I'm thinking about the lines and all this stuff, but it worked out. That was supposed to be a cameo. When it was first brought to me, I was doing the Everest movie in London, and they brought me this huge Bible, and it was just this little thing, and I'd be in it for like 10 minutes. They changed it, it turned into this whole thing. Deadpool 2, I was glad it was one experience. The Thanos thing, if they called me in London right now and said, let's do this, I'd be like, I'll be there tomorrow. I talk to Downey probably 4 to 6 times a year. I talk to the Russos probably 4 to 6 times a week. I talk to Joe a lot. I love both of them. Sharing his take on what the Russo brothers are bringing to the table with Doomsday and Secret Wars, the actor said, of course, we're going to come up with something fun. Who knows? That was 10 years in the building kind of thing, and it was its own bookended deal. I don't know what they're going to do, but I'm sure it will be interesting. I think they do that very, very well. You may recall that DC Studios wanted Brolin to play Hal Jordan in the upcoming Lanterns TV series, though he was among a handful of actors who ultimately passed on the project before Kyle Chandler was cast. Asked what he regrets most, regrets turning down between that and working with James Cameron on Avatar. He later confirmed that he was up for Stephen Lang's role. Brolin replied, James Cameron, I heard Green Lantern. I know it's Kyle Chandler and Paul Patton, who I did a pilot with. I'm sure excited to see it. I can't wait to see it. I love Kyle Chandler. I think he's solid. He's fantastic. Paula Patton, either the actor has gotten confused or the Mission Impossible franchise star has secretly been cast as Carol Ferris. We'll have to wait and see on that front, but it seems Brolin is far more interested in making an MCU return than joining the DCU. It's interesting that he once again alluded to not enjoying his Deadpool 2 experience, as that surely pours cold water on rumors that he will reunite with Ryan Reynolds as Cable in the actor's planned X-Force movie. So yeah, he was out there promoting Weapons, to which it was pretty fun. The press screening we went to in New York, him and Julia Garner showed up to and introduced the movie. That was awesome. I watched that interview. That was really good. He's very honest about these things. In regards to Thanos, I think we all think he's going to show up, and I think he should show up, and I think Doom should rip his spine out and kill him and do that. But as far as Lanterns goes, I maybe he just didn't like the script. But the more important thing, Winston, did he just let us know that Paula Patton's in this show?
I guess so. I mean, Paula Patton fine as hell. So you're going to put Paula Patton in it. You just gave me another reason to watch. I'll tell you that much. I already wanted to see the hell out of it. So let's go. That's that's it. Like, I don't know if there's anything else to say about that.
Yeah, what do you think, Coy?
I mean, I'd love if Paula Patton was in it. I personally like Lanterns has. I mean, we've talked about it a lot, but that below the line team of Lindelof, King, and the Ozark showrunner Chris Mundy, to me, that's really exciting. So I'd be curious, what was the reason Brolin didn't want to do it? Like, is it a script he didn't identify with? Is it a long-term commitment? Because he mentioned liking that Cable was a one and done. Maybe he didn't want to sign on for 5-10 years. I don't know what they're going to do with Hal long-term. So I would be curious to see what a Brolin Hal Jordan would have looked like. I think Josh Brolin is sensational as an actor. I think he's amazing. But I love that he's so transparent about his choices. Like, that's my favorite thing about Brolin is he's never making sound bites. He's like, nah, I didn't want to do it. Nah, I didn't like that experience. Like, so whatever it was, I'm glad that he's like, not for me. Not like, well, diplomacy.
Yeah, no, I saw him in an interview one time. He talked about how him and Denzel didn't get along on one of these things that he's like, and he was open about how it happened, that particular thing. Not that they don't get along in general, but just how that it was the oh shoot, what was it?
Winston just made a choice.
I know. I just saw that it was out of focus. I'm trying to fix it. I'm very aware. I am aware. I was like, there's no clean way to do this.
He doesn't wait for a cut. Doesn't wait for me.
I literally couldn't see it. I couldn't see it. That's why. Because I couldn't see it. I needed to be able to see myself. I am aware of what happened.
But look, as far as DC goes, maybe it's just not a thing that he wants to do. Maybe
he's just like, he's Josh Brolin. He's been in this game 30 years. Like, he can pick and choose what he wants to do. I got lucky enough to work with them on a thing, and we talked like Ducati Monsters. We both drove Ducatis at the time. Yeah. And we talked about motorcycles for 6 hours, and that was a more fun, informative conversation about like something that I'm only nichely aware of.
Okay.
What I imagine the dude's life is like. He writes poetry, he writes books, he like does all of this life stuff. I don't think dude wants to commit to something for 10 years if he's not like peak passionate, and he's got a kid. So I see 100 reasons why he might not have wanted to do it, but I love that he's just telling Josh like, nah.
He was so good in Weapons, and there's one moment, because the movie's not a funny movie, but there's one moment in general, his character is doing something. You haven't seen it yet, Coy, right?
Not yet.
So there's something that his character is doing, and there's just a line that happens, and the whole theater bursts out laughing, and you're like, it is so. I feel like just like that was the moment that he had and he came up with. I would love if I ever had a chance to interview him. That's a question I would ask. It feels like he came up with that because he's like, that is how I would react if that happened to me. That is how I would react. And honestly, it was like, if that just happened to me, that is how I would react. So we all felt it in the theater. It was really great. I guess once you guys see it, I'll bring it up. But
I meant to ask you if we're already on that question.
Sure.
How you know how I am. How scary is Weapons, bro? Give me a comp.
So what I've been saying, dude, is that this movie to me, and Zach Cretton is becoming like the R-rated Shyamalan, right? Okay. It's more about like the premise overall that you're like locked into. There's like violence doesn't get you. It's not violence that gets you. No, I don't think you're going to be that scared, dude. There's some creepy moments and things that happen, but it's not like a terrifying movie. It's more about like a psychological thriller.
Okay.
It really is. Like Barbarian is a scarier movie, I think, than this.
Okay.
This is a more like psychological thriller. Like, where the hell are these kids? What's happening overall? There's some like warped shit going on, and it's batshit crazy. But it's more. I think that's probably why I liked it so much, because it was more. It was more psychological thriller to me than it was horror.
Okay. Because I was trying to give people like a list of like horror movies that like I've seen in like my temperance, and I was like, okay, is it like Jordan Peele level of like Get Out, Us, Nope, scary?
Yeah. It's like it falls in that.
Okay, then that'll be fine.
You can absolutely handle it. Yeah, it's not like Conjuring stuff. It's not like
that's
it's out like today, right?
What?
It was this and Freaky Friday this week, I believe.
Which I saw that.
Freakier Friday. I loved Freakier Friday, man.
It was fun.
But that's why this is just a fun Disney movie, and you're bringing, you know.
And the Eminem documentary is out today.
Oh, is it? Okay, well there you go.
Oh, I didn't know that.
All right, guys. So put your thoughts in there in general about what Josh Brolin said. Should he have taken Hal Jordan, or is it great that Kyle Chandler is doing it? And will we see him in DC? And will Thanos be back in the MCU? What do you guys think? Put your thoughts in there. All right, it's question time. Before we get to question time, what's going on with your channels? Winston A.
That's what's up. I've got a couple of reactions, like out of the theater reactions for the Naked Gun I saw, which is
nice.
I thought was hysterical.
Yeah.
The OJ and Cosby moments, good Lord.
So good.
And then Freakier Friday I just mentioned. I'm gonna be streaming a little bit this weekend. We've got Blade dropping in Marvel Rivals, so we're gonna test that out and all that kind of stuff. So come check me out, twitch.tv/theswaggyblurred, youtube.com/theswaggyblurred. And then I've been doing my Blurred breakdowns again on Mondays, so check that out. Yeah, that's pretty much it that's going on right now.
Right.
Past 50K on my page. So excited about it. Gonna figure out how I'm gonna do that 50 comic giveaway. I gotta pick a random person out of the 50,000 people. So thank you for subscribing. On the road to 100K. I remember when we were on the road to 100K on this channel. So now I'm on that journey. So thank you for following my page over on YouTube. I'm gonna be covering Alien Earth this month. Gonna be covering Peacemaker this month. Gonna be covering all the major movies this month, as well as all the comic stuff. So lots on my YouTube. I'm finally recovered from the craziest July ever and getting back to it. So hunt me down.
There you go. Check the guys out. So actually right now we're at 42. There's one question that the StreamYard did not capture, but I have it. And that question is from Boomer Bust, who says, I think the lesson this summer is not fatigue, but a rising tide no longer lifts all ships. If people are picky, you need to distance from other movies. It's a pretty good point.
Yeah.
It is a pretty good point. It used to be like, oh, if I'm so excited to see this DC movie, I'll go see this Marvel movie because I love comic book movies in general. The people are more, and I said this yesterday too, because of those three movies, Coy, remember, I think that everybody has been in that 2015, 2016 mindset.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, as you thought, $3 billion movies. Well, maybe a lot of those people said, well, out of the three, what am I going to choose? A lot of people clearly chose Jurassic World.
And I've got A-list. That's how I see everything.
Right.
Like, I don't have infinite money, and I also don't get 100 free movies like everyone on the internet thinks I do. I have to pay for things, but it is a matter of like A-list means I do the 2015 thing, and if you don't have that, I see how this happens. Like $20 is a lot of money right now. Like it is a very financially dire time. I get it.
All right, ready to rock?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Tim. Got tickets to the live show. Is it at 7 EST? Yes, 7 EST tomorrow, Green Room 42. I hope if you haven't gotten tickets, come see us. Sam's first, she was nervous. So you're going to be nervous? So you come over there, we're just going to be shooting the shit. So we'll be there. And then the live stream starts around that same time also. Okay, let's see. Next one after that. And this is Jason. Hey, Jason, I see your question, brother. And we already been talking about it. So I really appreciate you putting in the money. If you want to ask something, you just want to throw it into the chat and I'll give you a free one over there, but don't worry. We've talked about this. All is good. Jason also said another one following up on what I said yesterday about James Gunn. It's not me searching out his comments. It's just always seems to be in the news, whether right or wrong. I feel like he is overshadowing his creatives by always talking about their projects, especially the Batman 2. Again, I'm not a gun hater. I love Superman. I want the DCU. I just want I wish as studio head, he was just more behind the scenes. So give you guys more context. Yesterday, we were talking more about James Gunn's like social media presence, right? Which has always been the thing that has been out there. And a lot of people like the fact that he's so open and interacts with the audience. And then some people also feel like, hey, you're, and I guess I am one of these people too. I love James Gunn. I think he's one of these people out there that is so good for movies in general. But he's a studio head now. And I think that it's like, dude, focus in on being as creative as you are. You're so creative. You're so good. Let other people answer questions. Let this guy break stories on the show and do this stuff too. Like, you don't need to do that anymore. And so what Jason brought up yesterday was that, he noticed it on social media and Steph was like, well, you don't have to follow him. And I was like, I don't think it's a matter of following him because Jason pays attention to movie news. And when he tweets, it's news now. Right. But Winston, are you on the same page?
Yeah, I think especially, I think the best point you gave is giving someone like Coy or anybody else in that sphere, like that is how. So, I mean, Josh Horowitz obviously is a fantastic interviewer, right? But that's how his name has gotten to where it is because he's the one being able to kind of pull that stuff out of people and things like that. I think giving that to Coy on the show they're doing, that builds the clout of said show. You know what I'm saying? If they're trying to build that show out, Oh my God! Did you hear what dropped on what's it called again? DC Studios what, Coy?
Showcase.
Exactly. Dude, did you see DC Studios Showcase? What's that? Bro, it's the show that got on Max right now. It covers all the DC stuff. Coy broke this crazy thing, man, where Bizarro's gonna be around. Like, it's nuts. That would be something that you're both simultaneously building up the whole of said brand while getting the stuff out there that you want to get out there. And I think what's crazy about it is I think where it's coming from is Gunn really is a true fan of this stuff, like hardcore. And I think mixing that with the fact that, like, understandably, some people like the spotlight and he seems to genuinely like it. I think that's kind of the mix of what's going on a little bit. But yeah, I agree with you. I think let that go out to other people that can help build them up. Personally,
the only thing I want to speak to it on is I think that it's transparency. I think is necessary in some form, whether that's you guys being very kind about being me, but like I think we need more of a clear lens as to what's happening so we can debunk stuff before it gets to become true. Like there's this thing that happens where it's like, oh my God, did you hear blank was in the movie? And then you see the movie, they're like, they weren't in it. I hate it. And it's like, no one ever officially said it. Like that the internet makes things
but
true.
It doesn't have to be him.
There's some form.
Yes, some form, but it shouldn't be him. He's the head of the studio now.
I'm just speaking to the fact that we need more clarity.
I agree with you.
I agree with you. Boom or bust. Listening to movie news, you would think Superman hit $1 billion. In what world is making less than Man of Steel and Air's Suicide Squad is a big success, both of which people still call losers for DCs. Suicide Squad came off a hated BVS, and Man of Steel was also launching a universe. Don't move goalposts. Keep the same energy. Go ahead, Winston.
Yeah, okay. So for all the people that hate talking about box office with us, we kind of address this. We're not in the same world. So it doesn't, there's a certain level of, you can't necessarily look at what movies sold after inflation and things like that, because you still need to look at the era of what we're dealing with at the particular moment. Movies did not cost as much, so you had more people going to see said movies. We were also just in a heyday where that was something that people were doing. It's just not something that's happening right now. So it's not necessarily a moving of the goalposts, as in people are having a wake-up call that the world is different. And so that is part of the reason why those get compared all the time, because relative to what was going on at the time, Man of Steel and Suicide Squad did not do as well as other things that were happening. So that is where a lot of this is coming as far as context goes.
Jason, I was talking to a few of my college buddies, and they said something I thought was interesting. They like movies, but are more casuals than anything. They like comic book movies, but all three have no interest in Superman or Fantastic Four and haven't seen them. When I brought up Avengers was coming next year, they all agreed, oh yeah, I'll definitely see that. It made me wonder how other college-age people view superhero movies. They seem very excited for Avengers and Batman too, but no interest in Superman and any other Marvel DC movie coming out. And he follows it up by saying, thank you for all you guys do. Love Kristian, Coy, and Winston, your guys' hard work. Also graduating with my MBA next year from the University of Utah. Thank you, Jason. And congratulations. So to address those points, like, I think he's right though too. Look, if you're Marvel, you're nervous going into the amount of money you're spending on the Avengers because of the box office that your last three movies have done. But you do have that same thing you had for Deadpool and Wolverine. You've got that name of the Avengers. You've got Downey. You have these things. You have a big budget, huge. It's the Avengers. That's the event thing. So they have the best shot of hitting that number. Does it a guarantee? Like, I was going back and forth with Luke. Luke's like, I don't know. It doesn't look like it's going to make $1 billion. I said, don't count out the Avengers. Like, just don't. It's still positive. Just because those movies ate shit, it still has that name. Because if Deadpool and Wolverine was coming out next year after all these movies you just did what they did, nobody would think that Deadpool and Wolverine would hit $1 billion, and it still would.
I think just by the nature of the chair fiasco, that proves that the Avengers will still do gangbusters.
Exactly.
How many millions upon millions of views to watch chairs get revealed for the Avengers? It'll be fine.
I also think what he's speaking to is like, he said casual, like his word, but casual fans, Spider-Man has a strong name. Avengers have a strong name. Superman didn't. So like Superman was fighting against a bit more than Avengers or Spider-Man will be. And I think Superman, even though it's the biggest comic character maybe of all time, that's going to be more in the category of your Fantastic Four and even not quite Thunderbolts, but like it's a known thing, but it's not a guaranteed thing. So I personally think that it doing as well as it did and passing Jurassic domestically, that's a testament to the quality of the movie, right. But it also was an uphill battle that's different than Avengers will be.
Miguel Zan, do you think that Gunn super family will just have Kara and Kal-El? I hope they don't put John Kent. Maybe the Kandor story, Brainiac as villain. Thoughts? Coy, why don't you take this one?
You know, super family is really interesting because this is the last thing I would have expected. For everyone that thinks I am like deeply in DC, this was an article I was like, what? And I looked at sources because I was like, what? I didn't know this was coming. I didn't know this was happening. I love that I have no idea what this might be. I assume, obviously, we've got Kara and Clark and those elements, but like the super family is a more new concept, like the super core in the comic books and all the things with like all of the Kryptonians and stuff. I don't know exactly what this would be. I still thought this would be like a Mr. Terrific Superman team up, more of a team up movie, but the word family changes the context. So I'm excited. I have no idea what this is.
All right. Sean McCabe. Great, Sean McCabe. Thanks for 6 months of awesome movie fandom. Thank you, Sean, who's been a member for 6 months. All my love to the entire team. See you tomorrow. Gage, coming to the live show. First round's on me. Got to get back to saving the world. Do it. All the best, guys. You're amazing. So are you, Sean. Sean's the best. Look forward to meeting you, my friend. I wonder if Saul's going to be there tomorrow. I didn't even ask.
Man, that's a name I haven't heard in
I know.
A long time.
He's in the chat a lot. I wonder if he's going to be at this show tomorrow. I don't know. I don't even know. Does he even live in New York anymore? I have no idea. Tyler B, hear any good things about Matt Fraction's Batman? I asked this. What the hell is that?
Matt Fraction is an incredible writer. He's done a lot of indies. He's done a decent amount of work at Marvel. DC, he's done some, but Batman is like the biggest flagship book. He's a writer. I Love Sex Criminals, one of the books he did with Chip Zdarsky. I'm so excited to see what he does on Batman. Christian, he wrote the Hawkeye run they based the Hawkeye show off of.
Oh, okay.
So like he's like that kind of like
sure.
Quirky, enigmatic, funny. His Batman I'm intrigued by because he's the equivalent of like a Steven Soderbergh movie or like not quite a Nolan, but like one of those big names that you're like, oh, them plus big property. What is it but for comics?
Okay. Well, Tyler follows it up and says, I disagree with the term superhero fatigue. By that logic, I've been suffering from overall movie fatigue in general. I think theater fatigue is real.
That's kind of what I was speaking to is the whole year, like the top 10 movies, 4 of them are superhero movies still. And that feels like most years, but all of the box office is a little lower.
Yeah, I don't think though. I will push back. I do think that there is overall superhero fatigue from the general audience. I do. So I'll agree with Tyler on that one. Disagree with Tyler on that one. Tom Hanks, Coy, are you still going to do that triple feature day? Superman, Fantastic Four, Jurassic World. Also, what part of North Carolina are you from? I lived in Raleigh, Greensboro, and Boone.
I am going to try to do that next Wednesday. I'm so excited to go Jurassic Super Fantastic. I have not done it yet, but I am dying to because that sounds like the best day ever. And I was born in Danville, Virginia, right near Greensboro, North Carolina. And I'm actually finally going home in September. I'm going to go to Boston and to Virginia for my best friend's 40th and my one of my best friends and my grandpa's 80th. So I'm doing an East Coast tour.
There you go. Peter Stone, that article is hilariously disingenuous about CBMs. I don't know if it was disingenuous. I think that one of the things that maybe, and someone else pointed this out, that I didn't agree with, that we didn't get to. I do think, though, you look at something like No Way Home, there was lots of things that leaked and got out there, and people went in droves to see it. I think spoilers, depending on what they are, could actually get people in the theaters. I don't necessarily think that leaks and those types of things are a deterrent for movie. Leaks have been happening forever, set leaks, all those things. And that didn't deter people.
But I think the difference is what kind of leaks are we talking about now? Mind you, I think it still would have been better potentially, maybe not money wise, but I think for the movie going experience, if we didn't know that, that Andrew and oh my God, why can I not remember his name? Thank you. If Toby and Andrew were in the movie, if we genuinely were surprised to know that, I think it would have had a whole different kind of effect. But all that being said, I think it's just the type of leak that is the problem, one way or the other. It's the complaint about too much of the plot is getting out. I don't think that there's something wrong with saying that, and I do think that is a problem.
And trailers, like we've talked about, Kristian, like going into a movie and being like, well, I've seen this, I've seen the trailer. I think there's an element of that depending on the leak. And I think that like the Spider-Man method is great.
Yeah. Tyler B. Fewer leaks of movies should be possible, just how tight-lipped the video game industry is. Yeah, but you also you remember, there's a lot of studio moles. And like, not even moles. Like I said, a conversation that I had with somebody who says, yeah, Sadie Sink is gonna be Gwen Stacy, and that kind of stuff happens all the time. So it's who knows? Let's see.
All I was gonna say, that it's funny, all the talk about the superhero fatigue stuff and people not going to the theaters. You mentioned this earlier. I don't know if you guys have seen how much more aggressive, we talked about it once, the commercials that are before the movie now. They're like that not that they're trailers, they're putting straight effing commercials, and they're putting more and more and more.
Well, did you hear? Yeah, but did you hear that? Yes, that was one of the stories on yesterday.
AMC's cutting back finally.
They're cutting back on it.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
But like that's what I was talking about with my rant about movies. Like they're adding more money, they're adding more commercials, they're not adding more value for the consumer, and that's what they need to work on, is the value. And I totally agree. I don't want to go to a movie 30 minutes in waiting for it to start.
Yeah, and I think that the whole thing yesterday, but like because studios were getting pissed off about it, and that's why
Nicole Kidman should be minute 10.
Right. If Hulk appears in Brand New Day, maybe that's where we see him revert back to rage form. Yeah, but he already is going to be rage form. I guess that's another. I mean, that I thought has already been out there, but if it's not, I know that for a fact. It's Punisher and Spider-Man trying to contain Hulk. I've talked about this before, leading Spider-Man and Hulk to try to calm him down. It's exactly what it is. If it could even highlight the struggle with anger between Hulk and Punisher. And I don't know if Hot Mike already reported on that already too, but that's exactly, I had heard this a long time ago. And then Roca confirmed it too, and then Hollywood Reporter stole.
As soon as they announced Hulk, it was the thing that made sense, especially how much people want Professor Hulk to turn into Rage Hulk, and setting up Doomsday and Secret Wars with good Hulk.
Yeah. Casual Scroll, I would love it if Gunn offered Zack Snyder to helm the Mystic side of the DCU. I think his style would fit characters like Constantine, Zatanna, Etrigan.
I don't know if I agree with that. I've never really kind of, correct me if I'm wrong here, I don't remember a Zack Snyder kind of mystical anything. I understand the idea of he does darker stuff well, but darker and mysticism isn't an automatic like 1-for-1. So I don't know if I necessarily agree with that thought process, let alone as considering how already complicated Constantine and Etrigan are. I don't need Zack Snyder to add more complication to those characters and in the wrong way personally, but that's just me.
I do think that he should hire him though for something.
I think he should. I don't have a problem with that. But that wouldn't be what I would hand over to him.
Maybe not. Marcus M. Supergirl should move its date up to the early May slot left by Doomsday. It's currently sandwiched between Toy Story 5 and the new Minions movie. I agree with that.
I think this year we learned that, like someone else said, the rising tide element. I don't think people should keep shooting for crowded months. So, they wrapped a year before the release. Like it's got a year of visual effects time. So if the movie's done,
maybe, yeah. GoPal, it's worth differentiation streaming from PVOD. Well, that's true. Also.
I completely agree. And that is something that's different. Like when a movie is a $7 a month service and you're splitting it amongst 5 people, that's like $1 that goes to that movie. But if you're doing PVOD, then that is staying home and taking care of your family, but also supporting the movie. And I agree. Go.
But it still cuts into your box office because again, paying $30 and being like, not that everybody's like, hey, let's invite all the friends over to watch Superman on PVOD, but it is.
No, I'm talking like 45 days versus,
right.
I still think there should be a theatrical window that needs to be firmer.
I agree.
Andrew Carnes. Gunn is lying. Robert Pattinson is going to the DCU. Robert now in Batman 2. You really think they're going to do Bats and Robin in 2 universes in this climate? No way. Let Matt do Grounded Trilogy, then upgrade our Pat to Justice League. Love you guys. I think that the point that was made the other day, which I thought was interesting, is because of what is happening with the box office and those other things, that do you want to try to test the waters with having 2 Batman out at this point? Wouldn't it be safer to just have one? Because I know, Coy, you want it. I know. I mean, a lot of people want that, but I mean, in the bigger business,
if I could have a Prince Street pepperoni pizza and a Prince Street cheese pizza, I'm gonna eat both pizzas.
You are.
Yeah,
you are, but you're.
But if
you're
they
also,
separate them by a year,
most
or two,
people are
then
watching
that's
carbs,
two Batman
bro.
pizzas.
You gotta, but
Yeah.
but most people are watching carbs. They ain't got time for one of each.
I know.
They're like, oh, we
right.
get one, and my wife gonna
get
whoop
one.
my ass.
I
Like,
like
it's
pizza.
not.
I like pizza. I'm gonna pick one slice. Go pal.
I want 2 slices of pizza.
Me too.
You're not 15 anymore, Coy.
I've lost 4.5 pounds in the last 7 days.
You know why? Not because you're eating 2 pizzas, all right? Because you only had 1, if not 0 pizzas.
I've had 0 pizzas of late, and I've had 0 Batman.
Right. Go pal. Jurassic World on PVOD is still making money. That's the point that I'm glad he made, Winston. That's the difference there. So even if you're spending $30 to buy and watch many times, or $25 for a rental, where Peacock is a flat free to be there. That's the thing. Is that so you can't you still got to pay for it and it's still making money that way.
Which again, I still think is fair, but you are also able to cut that down in the fact that, like, again, what is the average movie ticket price around the country? Do we know?
16,
maybe less. But
yeah,
okay.
I've only been in the cities for the last 10 years.
Right.
Call it 15. It's gotten up. Let's just say it's 15. That means you're essentially getting 2 movie tickets. So if you're assuming that it's a date night and then fine. But, like, genuinely, if it's a scenario of, I love it for families to be like, bro, I got 2 kids. It's way more expensive than that. Great for them, but technically for the box office, you have shot yourself in the foot.
And that's why they should wait 45 days and streaming should be 90.
Well, this is what Gopal also says. The concern is going to free streaming immediately.
Which
I think there's 2 layers of concerns.
Yes.
I think I'm with Winston here. Like, there's tiering concerns.
Free pancakes. Theaters also need more theater checks by staff. Yes,
I agree. You know what I've been thinking of? You remember how that would be a thing if a movie was bad, HBO would get it super quickly. But if a movie was good, HBO would get it, but it'd be like a year later. It feels like they're treating everything like a bad movie that got to HBO quickly.
That's a really good point, dude.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. So next one after that is Clip Champ Razor. Fantastic Four ended up with $170 million in media value from marketing through brand deals. So the total marketing costs may be much less than people are estimating. It's a good point.
I love when people bring this up because action figures marketing and brand deals do help buoy. So it doesn't have to make less, but it still needs to make more than they have been making.
Yes. Armada has Coy and Winston watched Ice Cube's War of the Worlds. Get away from that. One of the best lines of the year. No, it's like I didn't get a chance to react to it yet. Winston, I was surprised that did you react? Have you done the Blazing Saddles yet?
I haven't done the Blazing Saddles yet. God. Just the family stuff got me kind of screwed up. But it is definitely so that, and I guess I need to do War of the World. Like, is it still at 0%?
Oh, I don't know.
I haven't had time for Naked Gun. I'm not making time for Ice Cube's War of the World.
Let me see. I'm gonna see if it's still at War of the Worlds.
I also want to keep liking Ice Cube.
It is at 4% now.
It's gotten up to 4. All right.
It
was at 0 for so long.
27 reviews. So you knew that there would be somebody who came out. Who's positive? I want to see the positive. Please let it be Bibiani. Please. Please.
And 20% from audience members. Jesus.
What are we at for number?
I'll let you know in a second. I'm trying to see who.
Oh, after you Rotten Tomatoes this.
Jordan Hoffman from Entertainment Weekly.
Is he the only one?
He said it's certainly stupid, but it's also a great deal of fun.
Yeah, that doesn't give you a friend. That doesn't mean that fun means you get a 3 out of 5. That's why it's a flawed. Rotten Tomatoes is so flawed. All right. We are currently at 65.
All
65. Right. Armada, have you all watched the movie 40 Acres? People keep recommending this. I came out with Daniel Deadweiler. It has 91% on Rotten Tomatoes. Going to watch it soon. Someone the other day recommended 40 Acres like 75 times. So no, have you guys seen that one?
No.
Ever heard of it?
No. This is the first time I'm hearing of it.
I just heard about it the other day. For a second. Now it's the second time I've heard of it. Israel Lopez finally saw Fantastic Four, but I liked Soups more. But liked more Soups, no dinos for me. Kind of, I think that you like Superman more, but you did
not see Jurassic.
That's what I got out of that.
Glad you liked the movies.
Yes, glad you liked it. Tim, great Tim Sim. Well, regardless of where the box office goes, at least I'm happy we finally got a very good Fantastic Four in the 3rd official attempt, especially at Fantastic Four. Here, sir. At least we got that because I like that movie a lot. Jean-Philippe Gorin. Hey, everyone. Hope you're having a good day. What would you like to see in the Batman 2? I would like to see either Mr. Freeze or Hush as the villain. I think the Hush thing is true. But what about you guys? What would you like to see?
I think Hush Court of Owls might be a thing.
I would prefer
tonally.
I would prefer Hush Court of Owls. If we're bringing it into the ECU, fine. But I like this idea of just give me the grounded Batman. Don't get into any sort of like crazy sci-fi mysticism, whatever. Like, I think keep it where it's at.
In the beside, there's only one Mr. Freeze. Gregory Dopp. Should movies use less CGI effects? Are studios paying too much and using too many shots of them? Are FX studios charging too much in their struggle? I say yes and yes, personally.
I think that FX studios are being rushed too much. I think these artists would do better if they had a little bit more time and money. So I think less shots that need visual effects if you're going to rush them.
Winston, what do you think?
Yeah, I think we've got a little over dependent on that, the same way we've got a little over dependent on shooting on sound stages. I'm not saying that you shouldn't for certain things, but I think save the soundstage stuff for like TV shows.
Yeah,
and then let's get out in the real world.
Mariana Barbara, I'm off topic, but I'm glad that Disney and Gina Carano settled. I wanted a trial and discovery, but their statement speaks volumes. The way she was fired and slandered was beyond criminal. Very unprofessional of a company to do that. I got a text from a few people yesterday because I had said when that lawsuit came in, I said from the lawsuit and reading everything, I said she's going to win this lawsuit. And everybody thought it was nuts. So she's going to win because of what was said in general of how they went about it, and they settled. Now, whether or not she's going to work with them again, that could have just been for the statement itself, because they just want to show it so she can get work again. But I think that, there's a lot of different things you could talk about for this one. But I just for the way that whole thing was set up, it just wasn't. It was in a different time too. So I don't know if you got what you guys think.
I hadn't been following it. This is how I found out.
Oh, okay, yeah. So they basically they settled, and because I think that Disney knew they were going to lose that lawsuit, they settled with her, and then they made a statement that they were looking forward to working with her again. And I don't know if that's necessarily true, or just a statement to say like, hey, we've settled with her, so other people can hire her now.
You told me that she was an heiress. I've learned so much today.
Yeah, I know. Levi, here in Ukraine, supporting the effort. Just want to say thank you three for all you do. Keep us updated on everything comic news. Thank you, and thank you, sir.
Stay safe.
Yes, stay safe,
yes, please.
Jose Diaz, what's up, dude? What's up, guys? Hope you guys have a great weekend. I will always die on the hill that after Endgame, there should have been a 2 to 4 year break. Maybe. And I think that's the other thing, too. Do you guys agree with this? Because I don't think this will happen. But if, and I've been saying this the last couple of days, if Doomsday and Secret Wars underperform in the way that these two movies did, should Marvel take a break and wait about 2 or 3 years before they bring X-Men back?
It's tricky because if they start casting them now, they're going to age. And I think they can't really make that gamble without casting them now. And then I think they're hedging their bets on Spider-Man and 2 Avengers films, getting the brand back to a good spot. But if they have them cast, they can't suddenly have like 17-year-olds turn 21. They can't Stranger Things these kids.
Right. Unless they film them all and then just go, we're just not going to release it for a few years because y'all clearly need a break. Like, dinner's ready. You're going to have to heat it back up.
Put things in the Disney vault, but in a new way.
Yeah. That's right. Jose follows it up. Also, Disney Plus, I believe, will be a detriment to Disney unless they change their style. They're doing a lot of things with the Hulu app and changing things there too. But this WWE thing with ESPN was the stupidest decision they could ever make. It was really, really dumb. They're going to lose a lot of money on basically. So if you guys didn't know, they Peacock. If you subscribe to Peacock, it's like what, $8-9 a month or whatever it is. You get all the PLEs, the pay-per-views for free, no matter what it is. Now they're moving everything over to ESPN. And I thought, okay, well, I have ESPN, I have that bundle deal, but that's not how it works. You got to pay like extra $25 or something for ESPN a month. I'm like, no.
Oh, is it like UFC where it's like it doesn't get you UFC? It's
I don't think it's the same element there, because I think with the UFC, you got to pay for like the $49 or $59, whatever it is. Plus, you don't have to do that far, but you've got to pay for the subscription, like, which is an extra $25 a month. I'm like, I don't watch it enough that yeah.
So cable. you were describing the same package BS of like, all right, you got your basic, right? Yeah. But then you got your basic plus the TNT set. Then you got your basic plus the sports. Then you got your basic plus the HBO. And if you want it all, hit a granddaddy. That's
they showed there was an Instagram reel I saw that showed like the old Chappelle clip, and they said why Disney decided or why ESPN decided to do that, and with the WWE, why they decided to do it with the fans, and then Chappelle going, because F them. That's why. James Diesel, move heaven and earth to get Krager on Brave and Bold. If he's interested.
He wants to do a Joker Harley Quinn movie, I heard.
Sign me up.
He's incredible.
He is one of my. He is quickly. This is someone who I didn't even know existed about 2 weeks ago, and then I watched Barbarian and now Weapons, and now I want to see everything he does. He's doing Resident Evil next.
I had the weirdest experience where I didn't know Zach, but we have mutual friends, and I went into a screening not knowing what it was. I was invited, and it was like 10 of us watching Barbarian way early, and we were filmed with GoPros for our reactions, and then Zach used that for some of the edit, and I got to meet Zach and talk about his process. Cool. So I'm so invested in this dude because he was so kind and so hands-on that he filmed reactions.
I was just going to tell you, I'm finally on the same page with you with Brendan Sklenar as Batman because I saw Drop.
Oh, you just saw Drop, and that was it. Drop's not even though you watched 1923, you'll be even more convinced.
Just from Drop, I was like, yo, he do got that Bruce Wayne down a little bit,
right? He's pretty great. All right, after that one, Tribal Chief, thank you for the super chat, but that one we're not doing that today. So next one, Brandon Summers. Why do studios feel like they need these inflated budgets? Of course, things are rising during development that can cause costs to go up unexpectedly, but certainly WB Disney can't be happy right now. I think it's going to change, Brandon. I think they're going to start to really realize that they're just maybe because I think Deadpool and Wolverine also shifted people going, oh, we can hit it. We just got to do the right thing. And they just haven't done the right thing. And I think they realize that they're going to have to scale things down.
The only other thing I was going to say about budgets that I didn't even think about, if we're going to give credence to, hey, people aren't spending money to go to the movies because things are more expensive, I guess you could technically say the same thing about making said movies. If everything in the world is more expensive, then maybe they are like, hey, this would have normally been a $150 budget, but life sucks now, so it's almost $300.
It's true. I am Too Fly Cam. I refuse to give Marvel money until T'Challa is back. Chadwick passing was tragic, but that character is far bigger than any actor. But I think that's already from all the rumors. It looks like that's the plan anyway.
Yeah, it just the way it was handled, I agree, was just not correct. And I understand people's frustration because it went beyond the movies. All of a sudden, they were like, well, we're not even going to put T'Challa in animated stuff or video games or anything. And it was just like, this has gone way too far.
Yeah, I think they're going to change that now. Michael D., longtime viewer, first-time chatter. Go Knowles. Hell yeah. Did the normal movie-going audience even know that Fantastic Four eventually linked to the 616 timeline? Seems like a missed opportunity in plot. I mean, I was surprised that they didn't. Now I guess we're far enough away from it, but in the post-credit scene that they didn't. I mean, they show something significant, but not something that necessarily links back. We don't know what that is. It should have been something a little bit more definitive.
It's kind of why I get it. If you were a little bit later, you weren't paying attention. They were very clear to both hit you immediately on Earth 828, and then to put it again with Kirby's birthday, and to be like, why are there no other superheroes here? And they made it like there are only heroes on this planet. Like they tried to do it enough in there. It just depends on if people were watching or not.
I also think it's going to collapse into the universe as a plot device for Doomsday. I think it's going to be a relevant, necessary thing.
Right.
Michael says, normies had no motivation to prioritize seeing Fantastic Four and probably have no clue that Robert Downey Jr. is Doom. I really like Fantastic Four. For me, that black hole Silver Surfer scene is one of, if not the best, visually awesome scenes in Marvel history.
That was really cool.
The second act of Fantastic Four, I think, is the best second act in the MCU.
It's really damn good. Really damn good. I am Too Fly Cam. Matt Smith in Star Wars, Young Palp's R-rated scene. OTW LOL. There was they did. Well, he's not Young Palp's in this. I think that's from a different. I'm not sure what you mean there, but as far as him being in Star Wars, we covered that the other day, and I think that he elevates it. If he's going to be the villain, he's perfect for it.
I'm so excited for Matt Smith in Star Wars.
Great, go pal. I wondered if assigned seats and online booking ended the rising tide. You don't get surprised by sold out shows and pick something else anymore. I don't think it ended the rising tide because it didn't. Assigned seats have been around for like 10 years. If not more.
Oh, like longer than that.
I feel like that also helped movies hit $1 billion because then you'd be like, all right, next one. I got to get the next. Like, I personally go, pal. I don't think that was a negative effect.
Yeah, not for that one. Okay, let's see. Jason Ashcroft apologized for his first super chat. I wasn't trying to cause drama in his situation. Love the show and hope you know. I know you're not. Brandon Summers. What everyone's level of hype for Doomsday and Secret Wars? Don't get me wrong. I'm looking forward to seeing both, but I don't feel the way I did before Infinity War and Endgame. Of course, because the build-up's not the same. It's not. It does. The first one felt like a television show with the season finale. This just feels like a new television show that kind of links back to other television shows.
It's really weird for me personally. Doomsday is my third most anticipated comic book movie of a year. That's crazy.
What comes out? It's
Spider-Man, Supergirl.
You have Supergirl over.
Oh, the One Man of Tomorrow comic is so good, and Robert
really?
Downey Jr. as microwave Iron Man.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. What was the first one that you had?
Spider-Man.
Yeah. I don't know yet. I probably put Spider-Man number 1 because of the Punisher, honestly, and then
how crazy is it that we're both like number 1 Avengers movie?
And then I would put Doomsday second. Supergirl for me is third.
The funny thing is, I didn't even realize they were all coming out the same year in my brain, so I didn't even process that.
Yeah,
it would probably be Supergirl, Spider-Man, Doomsday.
So Doomsday's third for you too.
Now that you say it, but it's just because I don't even know what's good. Like Infinity
we don't know
War,
what it is.
There was enough to know with Infinity War. I don't know with this.
Yeah, that's the difference, right? Because Coy, you clearly know what to expect with Supergirl,
and I love that thing.
Right, Spider-Man, we have a pretty good idea of what we're getting there. I mean, the Punisher
and the marketing of outdoor web swinging has done more than anything.
I don't know what Doomsday's about. I don't know anything about it. So yeah, I am too fly. Cam Flying Grayson's Batman 2. Can Reeves do it? Flying Grayson. I don't know.
Dick Grayson came from the circus.
His
family was the Flying Graysons.
Right. Okay.
So
I mean, Pattinson said he wanted Robin in the next film, and that's the rumor.
Okay.
And for a little tidbit for the Court of Owls, Christian, they use essentially zombified Grayson descendants, like these families of acrobats to become these assassins. So can you squeeze all of that into it?
What's tricky for me is that Hush is like a greatest hits comic, and Court of Owls is more of a slow burn methodical, which seems to fit Matt Reeves more. So what's that going to look like?
Johnny Bravo, what's the joke in Naked Gun you told your dad? Well, I don't want to. Coy hasn't seen it yet. So I'm not going to spoil it.
Oh goddamn! I really want to know.
Hold on, I can mute you guys for a second.
I'm not going to say because I don't want to ruin for the audience. All I'll say is this, and Winston will know immediately what I'm talking about. It's when he first sees Pamela Anderson
out of the office.
Yeah. Aaron, Kyle Chandler was up for Cable in Deadpool 2, but ultimately went to Brolin. Interesting. Brolin up for Hal, ultimately going to Chandler. That's interesting. I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all. Connor Mullis, Corky and Wilson, Yippee Skippy. There you go. Brandon, to Warner Brothers, give me Tim Drake as the main Robin in a movie, you cowards.
How about give me a good Dick Grayson? Stop this.
Yeah.
No nipples, Dick Grayson.
For real. Mirjam, due to my health issues, it's not always me to go to the movies, but I'm glad I was able to see Superman and Fantastic Four in the theater this July. That's great. I'm glad you got an opportunity to do that. Yeah. Both good movies to see in the theater, by the way.
100%.
I agree.
CJ, what do you think? A member for a month. Thank you, CJ. What do you think about showing Sam the
brand new day?
What is it? Brand new day at the live show tomorrow. Just don't tell her RDJ's playing Doom. Well, I talked about it on it. She doesn't want to see it. She doesn't want to know who the villain is. And I'm going to tell people at the event tomorrow to not during Q&A. Don't reveal it. Don't tell her. Don't ruin it for her because you don't want to be that person that does that. The suit, she's not going to care about the suit. Whatever. She's not going to care about it. But we talked about it. So we just released our Brave New World reaction today. We shot Thunderbolts. That comes out on Tuesday. And I asked her at the end of it, I said, do you want to see the reveal for this thing? They announced something really big. I didn't tell her what it was. I said, they announced something really big at Comic-Con. This big thing. People want to know if you want it. She's like, no, I don't want to. I don't want to do that. I want to just learn it because she can avoid it. She's been able to avoid it to all this other stuff. She didn't know tons of things about these movies that have been in the press and all that stuff too. She had no clue. So I'm not gonna show it to her. No. Bry Guy, part 1 out of 2. In the 100 year of movies, only 57 of them have made $1 billion. 35 of those movies came out between 2012 and 2019. Well, that's inflation.
But also, there was a different expectation of that was inflation plus that was the thing to hit. It was more common. Movies are not 2020 really shifted theatrical.
It absolutely did. Bry Guy, I think today's superhero box office is less indicative of fatigue, but more so how historic and unprecedented that era was. I think partially that's true. I think partially, but essentially what Coy just said, once 2020 hit, it flipped it all on its head. And it wasn't anymore we're going to the movies this week. We're going to movies this week. More streaming, more opportunity, more things, generational thing. People, a lot of the generations don't go and see movies. The younger generations don't see movies.
The thing. The older, our us is fine. The millennials, elder millennials and Gen X, but older folks are not really going. Young folks are not really going. So you put both of those collectively together with everything else we've talked about, and there you go.
Yep. Connor Mullis, the next Barbenheimer is Freakier Weapons. I'm so glad they're both doing good. I could have swore that Freakier Friday would have been one of those movies like, why isn't this on Disney Plus? But again, talking about a movie that was made for the right budget for what it was. It's going to get the right audience in there and knew who it was targeting, and it's going to wind up being a hit for them.
I hear
it really was fun. I'm assuming that your daughters and your wife are going to go together or something like
They're
that.
They're going to see it if but they might wait for Disney Plus. I don't know, but they well, my oldest and my wife want to see it. The little one doesn't want to watch it. She's like, I'm bored.
Did she see the first one?
No, that's what she'll want to watch it.
Get her to sit down and watch the first one. She'll be ready to go running to the new one.
Yeah, but that's the thing is that she doesn't. You got to really lock her into this.
Sure.
Yeah. Busy Bee. Hey everyone, happy Friday. Glad to see the trio again. No question, just positive thoughts to Winston and his family. Busy Bee's the best.
Appreciate that, Busy. Really do.
Yeah. This is a great conversation. Alex Ruelas, Kristian, you're working on a pilot. How would you react if Jeff announced who's directing and starring in it before you did? That's a great question. It's a good question. I would be like, what are you doing? The same way that they do. But if that's the news, if I have, because there's someone, and Coy, I got to tell you off air of someone that is being floated to get approached with one of the roles. I'm just gonna text you. I'm gonna text you during the show so I can get your reaction, because someone
live reaction vague book.
Someone in our circle who is involved with the show can get this person. So we're gonna send.
I'm so curious.
And actors are hungry right now, dude.
I'm gonna send it right now, and I want to see both your reaction.
Ready. No, dude.
If we
You're filming in LA, right?
Yeah, we're filming in LA.
I'm being on set.
Listen, I don't know if we're gonna get that person. I'm telling you
on set every day.
I'm just telling you that this person can get that person the script.
Dude, that would be fantastic. Which role?
Well, I'll tell you off.
Okay.
I'll tell you off.
Okay.
So anyway, to answer that question, like if that person was on and we didn't want to say anything, and then Jeff, I'd be like, what are you doing? And he'd be like, hey man, it's a big story. I'd be like, that sucks. But I also know that's how it goes.
That, to be honest with you, that's part of why I'm not the biggest fan of the rise of that happening. Like, it's not Jeff specific, but just as like a whole.
But it's Jeff's job, you know.
No, I understand that. Right. But that job like used to be specifically Perez Hilton saying some random crap, and now it's just become like a common day thing.
It's the new way of news. El Baba Yaga, I think Batterson World can still work in gun universe. 8 Mile, Detroit, Vegas, Alabama, and Miami, Florida all feel so different, but in USA all could fit. Sure.
You know, that's a fun way to parallel. I like the concept of this message. Yeah. I personally still don't want to see that myself, but I love what I like this idea.
Yeah. Tell the truth. Love that. I maybe see why it bothers some people, but Gunn being on social media is one of the things that makes him loved and different from Feige. It's cool to me. I think a lot of people feel that way. It's just the question is just more ways to get yourself in trouble.
I also just think that he can still be transparent and be on social media and also not. I don't know how to directly sum that stuff up, because like one of the things that I thought was brilliant is when he was defending Matt Reeves and when he straight up was like, "Yo, get off his like chill. When you get the movie, you go get the movie." I was like, that's the most Black Mamba thing you could have said. That was hilarious.
Busy Bee also supports for Coy. But Coy, now that I've told you that potential person, now I'm putting everything I can. I almost want to tell people in the Kickstarter. I'm like, I won't be able to tell them who. I'm like, dude,
that is so exciting.
We can get that person, please. Let's fund this thing.
Game changer.
Tim Sim, thinking about the notion of how more people were choosing Rebirth over Superman and Fantastic Four as their only movie in July, and how I chose both comic book films instead. It's due to me having YouTube reviewers to see, and more casuals not. That's a great point too, because you follow the space, Tim, right? You follow that. You're in that conversation. You're here all the time. You're having it on different channels. So I think that's an excellent point.
And we've also seen Tim for years. Like Tim Sim's like an OG of us. So like there's a 10-year connection to this material.
Easily. That Lil Yankee. Props to you three for keeping Schnepp's spirit visible. Thank you. Sorry I can't make tomorrow's live show. Kristian, maybe I'll see you at New York Comic Con. I'm going to try to go. Definitely going to try to go.
I'm trying to.
Yeah, are you? Okay.
Yeah, I have nothing yet, but if I can, I'm there.
Okay, good. All right, let's see. Next,
how many we at?
We're at 85. Ed at the movies. Happy Friday, gents. Wishing you and your family the best. Winston, I was sick this week and finally saw Jurassic Rebirth. I should have just slept. Brandon Summers says, Winston, log off and watch Blazing Saddles now. I hope you and your family situation.
I appreciate it. So if for those that as far as the Blazing Saddles thing, I've fully recorded it too, so that I can do the live watch along with people, and then I'll do the edit of the reaction later. But yeah, it's just purely been I've been ripping and running.
Gopal was nice. They invited Rebecca Stab to Fantastic Four premiere.
All the OG, like the original Corman Fantastic Four.
They were there, right? Yeah.
And Doug Jones was there.
Were they in the movie? They were in the movie for like...
Yeah, they had a cameo.
Yeah.
And Ian Gruffold was there. It was cool.
Oh, that's cool. Casual Scroll. Coy! Is the absolute universe and DC characters stronger than the known DC characters?
They seem to be, especially like Batman is physically stronger. I think of Wonder Woman as being stronger. I think they're a little elevated, but I don't know about one-to-oneing them.
Superman seems a little bit weaker because he's got... The cape is like a sentient thing helping him.
I'd agree with you, actually. Yeah, I think it's character by character because we haven't seen enough of Lantern yet to know either. But yeah, character to character would depend.
This is BS, guys. Connor Mullis, forklift time was canceled. We shut down at work early. Sorry to disappoint. I was excited too. Come on.
Damn, dude. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, come on. Busy Bee. Box office prediction for Weapons. I say 40. Say 40.
Damn. You think even with Freakier out there?
Yeah, totally different audiences.
No, I understand that. I just, I don't know. Unfortunately, a number like if we're thinking about it, it's probably what dudes our age and a little younger. Like
I would say 40 to 43 for Weapons and like 35 for Freakier.
See, I would just flip it. I would say 40 for Freaky and 35 for Weapons, and not because Weapons.
You think Freakier Friday is going to beat? Can we bet on that?
Christian wants a steak.
There's no world that Freakier Friday is going to beat. But I shouldn't say it. They were close in tracking. I just think that because
you're the first one to say you should bet on family movies before you do anything else.
So totally. But I also think I think the specific demographic. I think I think this is targeted more towards women. I really do.
Which is fair, and we've seen that that's an untapped demographic a lot of the time.
For sure, Leah Barbie for sure. But I'll
bet you $5. I won't bet on the exact numbers, but I'll bet you $5 that Freakier has it better.
And I'm not as sure as possible as I was, but I will put 5 on it. That's fine.
All
right.
I bet we all have fun.
Yes, we'll have fun. Have fun winning $5. Peter Stone, if Robin is in Batman 2, then Batman and Brave and the Bold is less special.
I think it depends which Batman, right? If you got Dick Grayson finally, and then you've got Damian Wayne, then all the Robin fans finally get to eat. I think there's room. I think there's room for a lot of Robins.
All right, let's see. Next one here. Come on, get back. What's going on here? Come on.
Good thing there's a roster of them.
A whole nest.
DCU casting, casual scroll. DCU casting Ella Purnell for Harley and Bill Skarsgård as Joker.
Dude, I want Skarsgård as Joker so bad. I think he'd be amazing.
He'd be great. Kevin LaGuardia, great name. New comic reader jumping into All In. Recommend jumping BT series and reading issues in release order by arcs. Coy, ever try reading manga? Thanks.
I love that you're reading All In. It's a great jumping on point. I have tried reading manga. It's not my sensibility. I love how popular it is. But just like with anime, there's a certain tone that doesn't suit what I enjoy. So I love that it's popular, not my thing.
Okay. Busy Bee. Top 3 streaming services in your opinion? I would say Apple, Max, and Netflix.
I'm going to go Apple, Max, and Hulu.
Let's go into yeah.
Hulu's got a lot of good originals right now.
Yeah. It's essentially Disney also at this point.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would go with Christian's version.
Yeah. Jack Lewis. I personally want to see Henry Cavill play Zod in the DCU. That would be so great. That'd be a fun full circle moment. Also, it could be fun to lead to the perceived rivalry between Gunn and Snyder.
I mean, instead of Zod, make him Bizarro. I really make him act for it. Make him Bizarro and one enemy.
That would absolutely.
For the Rick and Morty thing, I'd love to see more of that. I love that they're doing stuff.
Mearsum, I really want to see Supergirl. There you go.
Next year, June.
Sun Tzu, yo gang, if they do get Gosling for Ghost Rider, he could be Danny Ket's not Blade set in the mid-late 80s so we can get great music like Iron Man 666. Iron Maiden. I hope that they do like what they did with Fantastic Four. Put it in a different place.
And I'd love an 80s tone. We've gotten 90s. We haven't really gotten a lot of 80s. I'd love that.
Yes, me too. Armada, thoughts on Cameron saying he used all CGI to make the Alien Queen if he redid Aliens? No. Kind of think it's crazy, but I use a hybrid of Bracken. Who am I to say no, though? It's James Cameron. He can say whatever. I wanted to make a piece of a pretzel come alive and start dancing in the middle of Terminator. I'm like, oh, fine, just do it. It's him.
Hot take. I think the Aliens holds up better than Avatar 1 does.
Aliens, the second.
Yeah, like his Alien movie.
Yeah, pretty great. But I love the first Avatar too, though. But Clip Champ Razor, I'm hoping for Mr. Fix-It, Hulk, and a gang war. Personally, we'll see.
I think a gang war is likely.
Yeah, it could be. It looks like it in the streets. I don't know if that's from the Punisher thing or from the new Spider-Man.
Punisher's usually in the gang war storylines, or a lot of the time.
Connor Mullis, on Cereal, Captain Crunches my shows. Magic Mine was really good. Not Magic Mine. Magic Spoon was really good. I don't eat cereal as much anymore. Christian Rodriguez. Christian, would be fun or funny to see you play Marvel Rivals live for all to show your inner gamer rage.
It would be funny.
I just no time. Tyler B. When you guys see movies in big cities, is it in 4K? Usually, I usually go to IMAX.
IMAX or Dolby for me, and I assume they're at least 4,000 lines of resolution.
Or most of them tend to be 8 nowadays.
Yeah, like the laser projectors are crazy.
Mm-hmm. Legend MM600, you guys look cool in black. Happy Friday. I think that's going to be our new thing. We should do that. 91 right now. Connor Mullis.
Ooh,
I put a black shirt. Can I? No, 123 is what it is.
32 away.
Yeah. I put a black shirt on to be cool like you guys. Thank you.
Hey.
Brooks. Hey, guys, it's my birthday today. So in honor of that, I'd like to stir the pot. No. I'm not doing that. Armada.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday anyway. Also, movies Strange Harvest and Sketch with Tony Hill drop in theaters this week. Sketch looks a little bit like If from last year, both positive R2. And thank you, Brooks, for the thing. We're just not doing that. Also, movie Stranger Harvest Sketch with Tony Hill drops in theaters. Sketch looks a bit like IF from last year, both positive. I saw that Tony Hill thing this morning on I was looking at when it was the gym. It was on the background. It looks interesting.
Yeah, he did an interview on Daily Show, and I've heard great things about Sketch.
Brandon Summers sending in one more to make sure Rogue gets third place this week. It might happen. Let's see. Busy B, are we at 100 yet? No, not yet. 92.
90 something.
92 at the moment. So Connor, I think you missed my super chat about my bad kitty. I might have. I did. I'm sorry. What was it? Throw it in there and without the super chat. I'll highlight it. Brett Sheridan, look at this. I hate to get political, but is everyone subscribed to the Brett Sheridan channel? New episode out today. I love it. Perfect. Brett was here for a week, dude. I told Brett kind of via text a little bit too. I was so heartbroken because I just wanted to hang out with Brett in New York. Every time he's been here, he's just been like, working on the studio. And I was like, okay, he's going to come here. And I was like, this will be a little less for him to do. He's going to do stuff at my new place. And I think I saw him for maybe he was here for 6 days. I think I saw a total for like 3 hours. I didn't even see he was supposed to come in the studio. I never saw him. I was like, and I'm like, now the trying to even get him back here is going to be impossible. The fact that he hasn't changed his number is crazy too. Sun Tzu, what gun does is fine if it works for Jerry Jones. It doesn't work for Jerry Jones. Dick Smoker, perfect. What's more likely, Superman 2 or Fantastic 5? Superman 2.
Yeah, Superman 2.
Joey Pedras, loving the new DC compact line of comics. Trying to stop myself from getting all of them. Have you picked up any of them?
I have everyone there. It's like like Hush, for example, the whole run, but in a slightly smaller, like pocket-sized comics you can just carry around.
Yeah, done like manga.
Yeah, they're exactly manga sized and $8 or something like that.
Lucky, my local theaters are always fuzzy. Oh man.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah, I hate that. Okay, let's see. Casual Scroll, you guys hear my announcement? He's finally reacting to anime with Steph. It's official. We got him, boys. I mean, we talked about it. I gotta find out. I got to find out what the legalities. Apparently, they're really tough on reactions for anime. So I got to look at that.
You can still do it. You're just going to have to really stick to that 7-second stuff hard.
Yeah, I got to look. Mr. I crap and shits. Don't know about you guys, but I'm excited to see Alien Earth on Tuesday. A lot of reviews. I'm a huge Alien series fan, even the bad ones. Assembly cut of Alien 3 is good.
It's my favorite show of the year by a lot. Alien Earth is so good.
Okay, let's see. Hold on. Sam's here. I'm trying to buzz Sam in. Hold on a second. Let me buzz her in. She's coming. We're doing Lord of the Rings today. But there's 2 more here. Mr. I crap and shits. Don't know about you guys, but I'm excited. We did that already. She said, and then Alex Ruelas, what's your favorite superhero and super villain of all time? Superhero is probably Superman. Super villain is probably Joker.
Hero, Batman, villain. I'd have to think about it for a minute.
I think Spider-Man and Joker. I think same villain. I like Joker a lot.
Okay, let's say last one. Brandon Summers says, "What's the deal with canon? What's the deal with canon?
Like in comics, in movies, in Nick's children."
It was from Jurassic. I mean, from Jedi Council. Hold on, I'm going to put you guys. I'm going to have an empty seat here for a second. Hold on.
Yeah, no, all good. You know what? I think favorite supervillain, and this is just where my brain just got warped growing up, is specifically the Teen Titans animated series version of Slade. Of
that's very specific.
It's very specific, but just because he was diabolical, bro. Yeah, absolutely diabolical.
Sorry, the great Sam just showed up. So here, Sam is here.
Sam cameo. A Sameo.
A Sameo.
I'm gonna do this. Hold on. Let me I'm gonna transform this, fit the screen, and then I'll go here. Wait, hold on.
Oh, Sameo.
Oh my God. Oh my God. All of a sudden, Christian's feed just got beautiful.
You guys are gonna annihilate. You guys are gonna annihilate them now and win the thing. So let me just.
Yeah, we got an extra 10 minutes.
You got to do the. What are you new to this?
Yeah, I'm
thinking. Chats for Sam. Sameo's here.
It's so limp. What happened?
I don't know. That's not a good look.
Yo, we gotta get Blue Chew back as a sponsor.
Blue Chew, yeah. Viagra, this bitch. Let's see. Let me get back here. Hold on.
Holy crap, yo, DS. I'm setting him so big, sets a bunch of small ones. My guy, we're trying to win here.
No, did you see Insider's huge Batman scoop today? What was the bat? No, I did not see it. What was it?
I think he said something about the Robin thing. Okay. I think he said Robin's in the Batman.
Yeah. Dick Smoker says that love is the answer. Do you agree, Sam?
Is Dick the answer, or is his name is Dick Smoker?
He's not
Joey Pedro, what's the most sinister supervillain name? Big Balls.
Hey,
Mr. Sinister.
Yeah.
Mr. Sinister.
Yay, Sam. Busy be happy to have Sam here. Dick Smoker coming back in with love is the answer. With huge $50 just with the answer. Armada, I like that HBO Max is dropping the new movies on Friday. Christian's Golden Goose. Yeah, 100%. We're watching Lord of the Rings today. You fucking pumped or what?
I better like this shit. That's all I'm saying.
You're just committing to a long time in that world.
It is long. That's what she said. All right, so Julius White, is it time for Lord of the Rings? Yes, we'll be watching that in just a second. All right, but we can't even. What up, Sam?
What's up, guys?
Coming in.
Damn, it was too late. If we had gotten her even like 15 minutes earlier, we probably would have destroyed that record.
I'm gonna give you guys my number, and I'll just tell me what to show up, and I'll surprise Christian.
I appreciate that, Sam. I do.
I'm so happy to see you tomorrow, Sam.
Yeah, Sean, I can't wait to meet you guys.
Joey Pedro saying the answer is love. Gregory Dapp saying welcome, Sam. Cheers. Good humor raises all tides. Mr. Right, crap and shit saying Sam. Do you know how much Coy and Winston love you right now?
Seriously. I
want y'all to win.
How many are we at?
Right now, you're at 117.
Oh, wait. We're so close. Yo, everybody
let's go.
Love is the answer.
Keep telling everybody how much you love Sam. Love, Paul.
You guys rock. Love Sam. Look at that. So
show my boy some love. Come on.
Oh man, Mike and Roxy are gonna be pissed. They were like, they beat you guys. They had you guys beat. All right. Well, right now it's 116. We're about to sign off. So, what do we do?
God damn it.
While we're getting to these last two that are coming in, what's your favorite MCU experience so far? Not movie, but like experience watching it, reacting.
I think that watching the End Game was one of the most emotional. It was an emotional roller coaster for me. I didn't think that the MCU was going to make me so emotional at all. I thought I was just going to go and watch these movies and not be connected with anybody. Just watch a movie and whatever. And I am so connected to each one of those characters. Yeah. Like I would go home and be like, oh my God. And like, it really took me for a whirl. I didn't expect it to for me to feel the way I felt about him.
I feel like that makes me so happy.
That makes me happy too. And the only thing that makes me laugh harder is Sam is so New York. Like the accent just pulling through. I say,
boy, I can't hide it. Everyone's like, where are you from? I'm like, bro, if you don't know where I'm from, we got problems.
Totally true. Well, they loved you beforehand. Now they really love you because they've won at 134. 134.
Yeah, Sam, you for so many reasons you've become one of my favorite people on this planet, fam. Like, did Kristian show you my reaction to you?
Yes.
Alex, support.
Embarrassing.
Don Ronaldo, what's up, Sam?
What's up?
Joey Pedro, Sam, you ready for the live show?
I'm ready and nervous. I'm not gonna lie.
You're gonna crush.
It's gonna be great. Before I crap and shits, has Sam seen the Alien series? I think you've only seen like one Alien, or you don't really remember.
Like the look back in the day.
You saw Romulus together.
Yes.
But that was it. You don't remember
it. Back in the day, like the long time ago one.
So you don't remember shit.
I don't remember nothing.
Connor Mullis, love is the answer. Yes, indeed. Sam, Lord Monk. Gregory Dobb, I love this show. Thank you, Gregory. Mirja, support. Thank you. Tiptoe Cloud coming in. Look at it. Alex Rollis on support. Sam is the answer. Casual stroll.
Thank you, guys.
Big Balls tells Sam about Lord of the Rings.
You know it, baby. I'm gonna tell her about it, and she gonna love it.
You little fucker.
She loves Big Balls. She loves him. All right, so let's see. Sam is the answer. Big Balls. What the holy hell? It's Sam, the GOAT. So it's Joe for show. Roger, what's up, Sam? Looking forward to those Lord of the Rings reactions. That's today. It's the first one.
Today.
I'm so excited. No sucias.
None. No sucias, guys. You heard? Both of y'all. No sucias, right. All right?
Look at her. She comes. She's even more lively than she is during the. You got to do a live show this every day.
I guess so.
No shit. You've done something that no one in the world has ever done. You shut Coy up. All right, Kelly, for support. Let's go. Play it out. Agree with Coy. Hire more movie theater bouncers. When was the last time that you went to the movie theater?
I went to go see Stitch with my stepdaughter.
And were people terrible in the movie theater? Like behaving?
The kids were actually crying.
Okay, so
no, crying because of the movie.
In a good way. No, I understand what you meant.
No one was acting up.
I just think, every 30 minutes have someone walk through, and that way you don't miss someone getting up to tell someone isn't going to happen. But if you cycle through, it's I think that's how we solve it.
Yeah, someone thought you were Italian at first.
No, Puerto Rican.
Puerto Rican. So
wait, you're Puerto Rican?
100%. Mom and dad.
Look at Winston.
I'm a New Yorker. I wasn't born there. I was born here.
All right, I'm gonna figure out how to get to your 50th, Kristian. Shit, I gotta.
Well, damn.
Tyler B. Sam loved Eternals.
I knew I liked Sam. That's one of my. It is so slept on.
She doesn't like that.
I'm sorry. I still like Sam. I don't like you played with Tyler, but I still like Sam.
That's not your most hated. You know what'd you?
I hated She-Hulk. I hated Eternals. It was like 3 hours of my life I'll never get back. Oh my God, the Marvel singing.
Yeah,
we're on the same page there.
I thought I was getting punked.
Yeah,
I was like, that movie is a fever dream in a bad way.
Sam loved Eternals. Matt, will you and Sam see Spider-Man 4 in theaters? No, Sam and I talked about it. Sam's going to see everything here because
interesting.
She avoids the like. Tell them what you told me the other day.
Yeah. When the commercials come on, like for the movies and stuff like that, I'll go no.
She runs away,
and I run away. My kids are like, go, get out of here.
So they did. Sam for the win. Kingsport Cal, finest frog legs. There you go. Nice, Sam. She got to see Breaking Bad too. She said she just saw one episode.
Yeah, that was
one episode. Dick Smoker coming in with another. Brandon Summer says, I know Winston, I'm in love too. Look, you breaking hearts here, Sam. Dick Smoker is Coy. He too big. Mr. I crapping shits. Add Chris Carter this and you will not go off air. It's true. Corn Emperor. Kenya King. My Puerto Rican booth thing, Sam. Hilarious. All right. So
damn, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I don't think some people didn't hear it.
Everybody just get off.
Okay, good.
All
right, listen. The guy's crushed. 147 today.
No, Sam crushed. All props to the Puerto Rican queen, man. Like shit.
No, stop doing that.
wait, what was that?
Bro, every time he does that, I'm like, I'm gonna slap him, man.
It's the best. All right, listen. We got to get the hell out of here. Sam and I are going to watch a 7-hour movie. So it is. Thank you, guys. Coy, Winston, Coy.
Bye, guys.
Where can they find you?
Enjoy your walk to Mordor. Find me on Instagram and YouTube at Coy Jandreau.
All right.
Getting more Sam stuff as you guys are promoting. Winston, go ahead.
At the Swaggy Blurred on all stuff. I'll be on tonight playing some Rivals, y'all.
Said screw. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks to Sam. Thanks to Winston. Thanks to Coy. You guys rule. We'll see you guys on the flip side. Peace out.
Have a great weekend.
F's.
Bye.